get quality options. Yay, I have quality options. Oops, didn't mean to do that. That's okay. I will not have Discord open very often.
Let Chrysanthemove know that you want to collaborate.
Yeah, now your face is back up. Oh no, now it's okay. It's a little weird because you like have to have the window open in order for it to like capture.
Yeah.
Oh my god, stop doing that. Okay.
Oh, hi Deadly. I am not wearing my gamer wrist brace because we're not gaming.
But we're doing similar things. Gaming.
My okay, knitting wrist brace. True.
True. Yes. Knitting wrist brace. But where are we? I think I might be knitting during this because I have my project right in front of me and it's very tempting.
I could knit, but I'm bad at like, I don't know. I'm like, I have a sock on magic loop, so I would have to be like, yanking my needles around and stuff. I don't have anything that's just like in the round.
Apply some nail oil while we're here.
Well, I kind of do. It's fine.
GG first, CZ. Hello. Hope you're doing well. Oh my gosh, this is not knitting related, but CZ and Matcha and I were talking about these like travel neck pillows basically, and we Matcha recommended like the turtle ones.
Is so I got like it goes like around your face kind of thing.
Not around your face, but kind of like it has like a taller little like side thing so that you can kind of like rest your chin on it. And I am excited to try it out.
Nice.
It's kind of noisy though, so we'll see how it, because there's Velcro on it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So we'll see how it fares on the plane.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because you're leaving literally like soon.
Really soon, yeah.
That's so crazy. I can't believe the year is ending.
It looks like a cross between scarf and necklace. Yeah. I know. How is it December?
I don't know. We've literally had a knitting podcast for a year.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
I mean, yeah.
We've done every quarter.
Yeah.
We started in March, but we had the idea for a year. So, yes.
Yeah.
That's true. Yes, I know, CZ. I watched that.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask. Yeah, that was a good video.
It was such a good video, and I think I've been getting back into my YouTube arc in that I'm not just watching knitting podcasts. And so I was like watching Sophia's video about the travel thing, and then I've been watching like Epicurious videos of these chefs like testing out like instant ramen or frozen dumplings, and they have a lot of things like that, and it's really cool because it like they're so knowledgeable about it.
Yeah. Hi, S.
You have it in Japan for Japan trip in February. Yes, ooh. I'm very excited I'll let you know how it goes after this weekend, but my flight is not nearly as long as that, so.
Yeah.
Hi, S.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like I've seen the no heat like curl hack where you like wrap your hair, because like my hair is like wavy naturally, but like the back is so much thicker than the front, so the front usually looks straight and like it's a lot harder to like have it maintain a curl. So I always struggle to like style my hair down because it's very inconsistent. So like I feel like the heatless curls maybe could work, but I also know that like the strength and density of like the back of my hair, like it's literally like so like tight.
Yeah,
I don't know if it would be effective.
Heatless curls with a sock.
Okay.
which works really well for me. I do kind of want to try the one with the rod. And I also have one of those like octo curl things, but like a dupe off-brand version that I found in some random store in Madrid. But it has like 8 little thingy things, which I saw some other YouTuber review as well. That didn't quite work for me very well in Madrid, but I haven't tried it since then because socks were just working really well for me. Yeah. But also the way that I see like all the hack do it, all those hacks, they're always twisting in one direction. But I learned from a YouTube video to like twist, like imagine if this is here, right? Mm-hmm. To twist like that and then take a back section and like kind of twist it.
Oh, okay.
Opposite. Yeah. And then like alternate that way. So you're not braiding, but you're twisting in opposite directions. And I really like the results.
Yeah.
It gives me. But I mean, my hair has to be wet. It doesn't really do much when my hair's not wet.
Yeah. That makes sense. Like this is my hair after like I used like a blow, you know, it's like a round brush, but it's a blow dryer. Mm-hmm. Like I did that, and not very like, you know, meticulously obviously, but like my, you know, it resists the the styling very much. So especially in the back.
That makes sense. Yeah, my other, I guess, Q4 update.
Oh, did you get?
I got the air wrap.
Yes.
I did not use it this time. I let my hair air dry for the first time since I got the air wrap. The last time I washed my hair just to see, because I was like, is it really actually making a difference? And I do think that blow drying my hair does like make it a little bit more manageable. And then I haven't quite noticed any like differences in like the texture of my hair, so I don't think it's like damaging it or anything like that, because I wash my hair about every 3 days right now, so I don't know, but I am enjoying it. It's fun to play around with, and definitely not necessary, but it's fun.
Nice. We love a little fun, you know. That's cool. Yeah, I guess all my money has been going to yarn, so I don't think, like, other than the Holo Taco Dark Academia polishes that I bought, I don't think I really have gotten any, like, beauty products recently.
I have.
Yeah.
I'm wearing new eyeshadow today. It literally arrived.
It's nice. I've been sitting on a Sephora gift card for, like, a year.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I have not been able to decide, like, well, I just don't wear makeup often enough anymore, like, and, you know, I don't know, I'm like, what even are the good brands now, like,
if you want any Rex.
Yes, please. I think I'm looking for a new mascara.
Ooh, okay.
I would like to try a brown one, I think.
It's been very trendy. Yeah, also, thank you, S. I think I just have like 3 shades on, but I like it. But brown mascara, I actually also just got a new mascara. I hate wearing mascara also, but I really like the Tower 28 Make Waves mascara, and I am pretty sure they have a brown one.
Oh.
That one's really good. It's not waterproof, but I do think that it holds a curl pretty well and lasts a good time, but also I've never really had a problem with mascara smudging, but I know that most of the people who review it also have the same opinion.
Interesting.
But then I also just got the Tarte tubing mascara, the Tarte Tartelette in a purple tube, because there's 2 Tartelette mascara. I got the one in the purple tube.
Okay.
Because it's a tubing mascara.
Yeah.
Because I was hoping it would just be like easier to remove or something.
Yeah.
It's been also very comfortable, and I know that one comes in a brown tube. So.
Okay. Yeah, I used to use a tubing mascara, and I liked it. I feel like it was pretty easy to remove. Mm-hmm. But yeah, usually I do go for waterproof because I have watery eyes, and then I have hooded lids, so the edge of my eyelid like really is very close to the corner of my eye, so I get a lot of like, anytime I wear eye makeup that's not waterproof, I get like running down here through the day, so I've always gone for waterproof, but maybe I'll look into some of the Tower 28 reviews and see. So But yeah, I think that's what it's like. I decided that I would probably use it on mascara like months ago, and then I just have like not done any research at all. So,
yeah. I will say if you want more bang for your gift card buck, I think Sephora has a 20% off right now for
that's
like
true. Anything. Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't think I did any Black Friday shopping, actually. I know.
Oh my gosh. But you did take advantage of some yarn store sales.
Yeah, right? That's true. I have most of my acquisitions, there are quite a few of them, were on sale. So that was good. Hi, Scorp.
Oh, remember, also, I do have an acquisition outside of the number that I told you before, but I've already cast it on. So I only yeah, you know which one I'm talking about. Hi, Scorp.
Well, should we jump into the knitting?
Yes, we should.
Okay. Do you want to talk about what you're wearing?
Oh, yeah, sure. And yours is an FO for this quarter. Mine is not. This was actually probably an FO in our very first knitting podcast because I finished it at the beginning of this year. This is my Doppio.
Yay!
I knit this in All Explorer Knits, and All Explorer Knits Leave No Trace, which it's not technically an acquisition for me this podcast because I haven't received it yet, but I did order from the latest.
There is yarn in the mail.
Yeah. But I believe the base color is like a fingering weight, and I held two of the same color held together, and I think it was one of the tonals from the Iceland Solstice collection last year, but again, it was Leave No Trace. And then I think that the Surrey is probably some prototype or some skein that resembles the colorway Flock on Surrey, is my guess. But I love it. I think I knit like the third size. I remember like spending an entire day trying to decide what size to knit. And I knit the bigger size of the two I was debating between, which I think was size 3. And I love it. It's great.
It's so good.
I live in a townhouse, and I did a little bit of like just one load of laundry today, and my room's on the 3rd floor and the laundry machine's on the 1st floor, and I had to change out of this because I was definitely
it was too warm.
A little warm walking up and down the stairs. But just sitting here, I'm a good temperature.
Yeah. Nice. Cool. Yeah, I mean, this is my first finished object. Well, not chronologically, but like I'm wearing it. It's my only garment that I finished in the last 3 months. This is the PhD vest by Juliette, I think Limousin. She has a podcast, Knits with Juliette. And it's really good. She's a PhD candidate, I think, in Cambridge. So she made the PhD vest.
I was wondering where the name came from. That makes sense.
Yeah, well, because she styles it a lot with like a big button up, which I still need to try. But I do really like it, just like over a t-shirt, and that's kind of how I like envisioned wearing it when I was making it. But I made size E, and I used West Yorkshire Spinners Pure DK in the color Lily Pad. So this is 100% Falkland Island wool. It is so soft. Like it's just like so nice. And yeah, I'm like really happy with how this turned out. I can like stand up and give you a little view.
Yay! Yeah, it looks so good.
So if you can hear me, the armholes are quite deep. Like I'll show you again.
Yeah.
And so I mentioned I knit the size E. For my like recommended size, based on my measurements, would have been one size bigger. So I think this I have like the recommended ease is like something like 18 to 20 centimeters, which is like 8 inches. It's like a lot of ease. I think it might be more than that, like 8 to 10 inches or something. And then, hi Dracobatic, I made a sweater vest.
Yeah, first finished object.
Yeah. So this has let's see. 100. So I think I ended up with 6 inches, so like 15 centimeters of ease. And yeah, the armholes are quite deep. So like it's a lot of ease still, and I like went down a size. If like, and the armholes are still deep. So I think if I had knit like my actual size, it would be like too big, because I didn't want to like, personally, I don't really like when like the sweater vest is like so oversized that it sort of goes down and kind of looks like a cap sleeve. So I'm like really happy with where this hits. And then also I think like, let's try to like move my headphones out of the way. I feel like I see a lot of sweater vests that like sit really weird like in the front panel. And I've tried to like figure out like why I think that is, so I could try to avoid that. And I think it's like some combination of like armhole depth, row gauge, and then where the V-neck hits relative to the armhole. So, anyways, I was like really happy with the, like, I ended up shortening the front panels by 3 centimeters each. So my V-neck is a little higher. But I really like where this hits. And then I kind of just like arbitrarily decided not to shorten the back panel by any amount. So, but like it's fine. Like it didn't do anything weird. Like the length. Oh, sorry, I'm standing up. But
no, we can still hear you.
Oh, okay. The length is consistent like all the way around. So I think it just, it like did what I wanted it to do in the front. But so I think like the armhole, maybe like if I had shortened the back panel, I feel like that would be probably an armhole depth I was more happy with. But like, because it just like it looks, if I have like a tighter kind of t-shirt, I feel like it's just like there's a huge difference between the arm situation.
I like the look, but yeah,
I'm happy with it. Yeah. But I feel like I would be even more happy with it. That's like, I'm not like, oh, I hate this. But if I'm like nitpicking, things that I could have improved. If you made it again. Like, yeah, exactly. So, so this is just top down. It has a drop shoulder sort of thing. I'll turn around and I'll show you the little shoulder detail.
Oh, yeah, cute. That's really pretty.
Yeah, so you get like that line, and then it just has 1x1 rib for all the finishings and then tubular bind off. So, I think the only other thing is I did lose yarn chicken making this. So I had, I think, 5 balls of this that I got in March of this year, and I didn't I was like, oh, I'll probably make a sweater vest, but I didn't have a pattern in mind. And then I was actually like hunting for a sweater vest pattern, and then this pattern I think came out in like June or something of this year. So like I was looking for this pattern and it like hadn't even released yet. So I was really happy that I found it, and I was like, maybe I'll be okay with like yarn amounts, but I ended up needing to buy another ball. And luckily it was the same dye lot. So, and I bought it from like a completely different like retailer. And I think that they discontinued this color also.
Damn. So, well, maybe that makes more sense because then like the last dye lot maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Something like that. So I feel like this, came together really well. I love it. It's really soft. It fits the way that I wanted it to. And then the length I think is good. I did slightly more ribbing than recommended in the pattern.
I love the amount of ribbing. I know you were like having some like second guessing with it, but I love it.
Well, because I felt like I needed to balance like the visually the top of the vest, it's like hard to like, I can't move my chair super far, but like I feel like, yeah, I think it's like visually balanced in terms of like the amount of ribbing on the bottom. So yeah, thanks. So yeah, I'm like very pleased. And I think I was supposed to do like a longer ribbing on the armhole as well. But I did it just to match this. So, like I think in the pattern the armhole and the bottom ribbing are the same, and then this ribbing I knit to pattern. But so I shortened this to match this, and then I lengthened the bottom ribbing. So, yeah. So I'm really happy with this. And this was the yarn I was originally making a different slip over with. And I'm really glad that I did not end up following through on that and I made this instead. So here's to frogging almost finished garments to get something that you like instead. Yeah. I think that's everything about that. So that's my first finished object and also what I'm wearing.
Cool. While you were talking about that, I was trying to reread my notes because I was like, I don't really remember what I did on this. But my first, I only have 2 finished objects for this quarter. And my first one, both of these were done in October also. My first one's my mini mock neck, and it has not been blocked yet, even though it was finished in October. But because it was finished in October, I was like, well, I don't think I'm going to wear this anytime soon. But I'm traveling places that are like so much warmer. So now I'm like, I think I'm going to block it after this podcast.
Yeah. It's so cute.
Yeah. So this is my mini mock neck, which is a pattern by Jessie May. And I knitted it in ZZ Textiles Silk Soft, which I think is 80% superwash merino, 20% silk. I think it's an 80-20. And it's in the color like Elberdichel, something like that, which was kind of like a one-off color that she did like about a year ago. And it's like it's really cool. It has like a bunch of I know that like they like don't have purple as listed in the color, but I see purple.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then it has like
I see
like
purple,
this, like gold and like a little bit of blue and like I don't know. I think it's really pretty, and I did not alternate or anything. And I think the variegation and everything turned out really well. I knit this in a size small, and didn't gauge swatch or anything. I basically never gauge swatch for summer patterns or like pinks and stuff because it's just too much effort.
Yeah.
I used my C-knit needles for this one, and I knit Continental. Specifically, I don't really know why. I think it's because Jessie May has a really loose gauge typically. And so I was like, okay, like C-knit needles normally give me looser gauge, and Continental I knit looser. And I think maybe I like overcompensated a little bit, and I think this is a bigger gauge than it needs. I don't know. It's a little loose on me.
Yeah.
Hi, Con.
Hi, Con.
Yeah, I do think it's a little loose on me, and I'm a little worried it'll get too loose based off of blocking. But if it is more of like a looser tank instead of like a fitted garment, like I think I'm also going to be okay with that. But yeah, I think my favorite part about the mini mock neck and why I think everyone should like it, especially the fact that it's top down, is the armhole. It's basically like a slip stitch or like a rib situation. I forgot which one exactly. I think it's rib. Which you do as you're making the garment, so there's no finishing that you have to do on the armhole, which is so awesome.
That's nice.
And so really the only finishing that you have to do is picking up the neckline to do the ribbing, which I did before I finished the garment because I used literally one skein. Like the reason why this tail is so long is because it is just simply the end of the skein.
Hi, Sid.
Hi, Sid. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, I think originally I had wanted to knit this to like 8.5 inches for stockinette or something like that. But then I was like, oh, I'm running out of yarn. So then I think I did have to frog back. I frogged it back to about 8 inches. So I think the length is 8 inches. And then I just knit the ribbing until I eyeballed the amount of yarn I had left. And I was like, this is probably enough for tubular bind off. I do think I could have done one more round of ribbing with the amount that I have left. But It's okay. I also finished the garment. Like, I finished the ribbing while on the bus to the wedding that I went to in October, and I finished it, and then I was like, well, I didn't bring my tapestry needle, so I'm not gonna bind it off here, I
Oh
guess. And I
no.
did that later. I even did like 2 rounds of double knitting and everything on
Wow.
the bus, and then I was like, sad. There's still like 39 minutes of this bus ride.
Yeah. Oh
Anyway.
gosh.
But yeah, I will block it and wear it this weekend, maybe?
Yeah. It's cute. I really like it. I feel like probably your Doppio does not have like the exact same colors, but like on camera, it's like sort
Like,
of gray
yeah.
with like colorful speckles and gray with colorful speckles.
Yep.
Which is a
Similar
vibe
vibes.
though. I really like I like that look. So, yay.
Yay.
Um okay, I have finished 2 neck accessories.
Ooh, yes. Okay, I do.
So I guess the first one, and this one was almost done last time. It's my Lalu shawl by Sari Nordland. Ugh, oh my gosh, it looks
It
so
looks so
good.
good.
Yes. Ugh.
Wow.
Yeah, so I finally finished this. It's like a cable lace shawlette, mini shawl, knit in Knitting for Olive merino and soft silk mohair held together. This is the color Dusty Petroleum Blue, so it has like a nice halo. It's very soft, and I used like almost the entire ball of merino, and then I used like 80% of the ball of soft silk mohair. But I still like I have more because that's more yardage per gram, so I feel like I still have like a bit of mohair. But yeah, I cast this on in March to be like my travel project because I was working on it on my bamboo needles. And so I brought it on the plane, and yeah, last time I had gotten to like probably like here or something, but I misdid some cables. So I had to frog, and it actually wasn't that bad. I think once I frogged and everything, it took me like 2 evenings to like finish it up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it really went pretty quickly. I mean, like once you're decreasing, it's like, you know, like I should have finished it a lot sooner. Yeah, I haven't really worn this yet. I think I'm like a little unsure how to like how I want to style it or like what like how it would look best. Hi, Thief.
Hi, Thief. Thanks for the raid. I'm here with Oat. We're doing our little yarn cast.
Yay.
Q4, last yarn cast of the year, which is wild.
It is wild.
Oh, that's your emote. I hope Tetris was good. Amazing.
That's funny.
Okay, wait. The way that you're wearing it right now is really cute, though.
Okay, yeah, this is probably the way that I think I would wear it. Because so I guess the only other thing I really have to say about this is I was looking on Sari Nordland's Instagram because the like Lalu pattern family was like part of one of her advent sales like in the last week or so. And hers looks a lot bigger. So like mine ended up 39 inches long by 8 inches deep at the widest part. The pattern dimensions, it should be 49 1/4 inches long. So 10 more inches. 10. And then 13 inches wide. So I think it's probably a gauge issue. Like, I definitely did not gauge swatch. And when I was gauge swatching for the book club cardigan, I had to go up an entire millimeter, like on my needles. So I think probably if I were to like, I could see myself making another one or like another one of her tiny shawls or something. I would probably go up a needle size. But so I think with like hers, the size gives a little more versatility. Like mine is not really like deep enough where I could like I feel like it looks a little odd as like a like I don't know. It's like doesn't have enough depth to be like a cute head wrap. It's not even centered, but like a cute head wrap situation or whatever.
Like a makeshift balaclava
hood thing. So, I don't know. And then like I feel like she will wear it like sort of in the like as a bandana kind of in the front. I feel like I could do that, but I feel like it again like there's like a lack of depth. I really tried to like stretch it when I blocked it too, so I don't know. Yeah, I think it's just a gauge issue. Sorry, this is the right side. But like maybe. I mean, I don't think this looks bad. I think it just looks small. So,
I liked it where you tied it in the front.
Yeah,
I think that looks really good.
I do like this. So, yeah, that's my Lalu shawl.
Cute.
I'm happy to have this done.
From late thief. Yeah, wait, how many more FOs did you have again?
2.
Okay, I can just go ahead and talk about mine and then you can talk about your 2 in a row.
Yeah.
Though mine's just a half inch object because it's a sock.
A single sock.
It's a single sock. Yeah, so this is just a 2x2 rib sock. Thank you for the follow. And I am following a pattern because I have the pattern and I'm using the Thanksgiving sock like bundle in the ribbed version. And I cast on 44 stitches. And I think I actually did a German twisted cast on for this sock. But when I did start the second sock and there's about 2 rows of ribbing and I did a long tail cast on and I was like, oh, this doesn't look the same, but whatever. But yeah, I knit 44 rows on the cuff. I made a 2-inch flap, and it's just a stockinette flap. Oh yeah, because this is a DK weight sock. I'm using Teeny Button, Gideon the Ninth, on I think it's like called Soft Sock or something. I think it's just a 75-25 sock base, called Gideon the Ninth, which is so fun. I'm holding it double for this, and then yeah, I don't know, heel flap gusset, heel turn. You pick up the stitches, you just knit, you know, and then the bottom stitches are stockinette. And the top is 2x2 on the foot. Then I just did a normal toe, and hopefully it'll have a bunny.
Yeah, one day.
One day. And DK socks are supposed to take less time. But because I wasn't really prioritizing working on this, it kind of took a while.
Yeah.
But I DK weight socks are pretty speedy. I think once I make this and like wear it and on my feet and stuff, then I'll have to figure out what I want gauge wise, because this is on a 3.5 millimeter needle, and I was for the most part using the Addi, like I think it's 10-inch circulars because one needle is longer than the other.
Yeah.
I think the needle that I hold in my left hand is the longer one, so that you have something to grip, and then I use the shorter one for the working needle.
Oh.
I think is what I do. I've tried it opposite before and it was weird.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I switched to some random something for the other parts.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sock.
Love a 2x2 sock. Hi, Rubik's. We're doing well. Just talking about knitting with my friend Chris. Shall I talk about my next finished object? So this is another neck accessory. Oh, I should pull up my notes. This is the Cargill Cowl by Rebecca Clow, the Crayabea. It's just like a cowl, which is like a tube, essentially. And it has this like dip stitch motif So she has like a whole sweater with this pattern as well. And like obviously like she didn't invent it. So there are like other designs, but like the sweater is the Cargill sweater. Or maybe it's the cardigan. I don't know. But yeah.
I think it's a sweater.
Oh. Yeah. What? It has the same motif on it. This like dip stitch repeat. Yeah, I really like how this turned out. So I did this as a test run because I'm gonna make another one for my friend. So I knit this with Cashmere Treats Pure Cashmere DK that I got on sale over the summer, and the color is juniper. It's so soft. It's like really nice. I'm like, this might be like one of my favorite things that I've made. I mean, this also is probably one of my favorite things that I've made, but like this is like really nice. And I can show you how it fits. Or
you could wear that as a little hood.
I could, I guess, yeah. So hers in the like the sample is like very tall. And so I didn't gauge swatch. I added some pattern repeats because Rebecca Clow is a notoriously loose knitter and I am a tighter knitter. So I added, I think, 3 pattern repeats, and then I just kind of knit until I felt like it was a good length. So, and because it's like you're doing like ribbing essentially between all the dip stitches, I think it's like very small when you're working on it. So I was kind of like, I got to a certain point and then I measured it and I was like, oh, like it's supposed to have like a 25-inch circumference, I think. And mine was like 16 and I was like, oh God. And I think I had recently finished my Lalu shawl. So I was kind of just like, this is the perils of like not gauge swatching. Yeah, so I did a mid-project block. I might have done that before last time, actually. And then it blocked out to the correct dimension. So I was like, wow, okay. So I kept going with it. And then for my length, I ended up doing 16 of the pattern repeats because I wanted it a bit shorter. I think I calculated like based on the gauge and the pattern and like counting in the sample, like, and there were like 25 like of the pattern repeats. So it's supposed to be like pretty tall so you can kind of like snuggle into it a little bit. But mine, you can see like it's like hitting like just below my mouth, which I think like I can still sort of like, you know, if I was walking with a coat and my hands in my pockets, like I can still kind of like bundle in it, but I can't like sort of pull it up and have it like stay. So, which I think that's fine. That's kind of like what I wanted because it's like, I don't know. I like how it sort of sits with not as much fabric. And I think sometimes people like sort of tuck in the ribbing so it's more like you just get the dip stitch motif, which I think also is nice. So yeah, so I'm planning on casting on another one of these soon. I'll show you my acquisition for it later, but total I used 87 grams of DK weight cashmere.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's not bad.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's really not. I used like half the yarn that I had because I bought 3 skeins, or I bought everything they had of the DK weight that was on sale. So actually that is a thing. I need to figure out what I want to do with my remaining, I guess like 87 or 88 grams or however
another
much.
One?
Yeah. I could make another one. I also, I could make myself like a little hat to go with this or mittens. I don't know.
That'd be cute.
So, yeah.
I think 80 something grams for DK weight might be pushing it for at least a double brim hat.
Yeah, yeah.
But mittens I think would be fun.
Yeah. So we'll see, because I don't really feel like I have a lot of opportunity to wear mittens. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I was also thinking about maybe like a bralette.
Oh, or I was going to say headband.
Yeah. Okay, that could be cute. That could be cute. Yeah, I'm thinking about it, but I have to figure out what to do with the rest of my yarn. So, but yeah, I really like this. I'm so happy with it.
It's so cute.
I did have to wait for shorties actually to start it. I had to buy specific short needles. And I'm happy that I did, but I tried to knit this initially on Magic Loop and I was having like terrible laddering. So, yeah, that's my Cargill cowl. You did raid me 8 times, Con. That's so many times.
Cute. I think I mean, Colette was my top raid, and then I think you were my next raid target, and I think it was like 3. And then I think Matcha was after that, like 2. And that was it. Those were all the stats.
That's so funny. Oh, thanks, Rubik's. Ooh, a frozen pizza in the oven. Nice. Ooh, that sounds good.
That does sound good. I feel like when I was growing up, my parents used to get pizza a lot more, like frozen pizza that we would use in the oven. But as like an adult who just feeds herself, I don't really ever get a frozen pizza. Ooh, hi Rhino. Thank you for the raid.
Hi Rhino.
Hope Balloons was good. I am here with I was like, which
Hello. Oh, on mine it's the opposite.
Yeah, yours is this way, mine is this way. Maybe we should have it on the same side eventually. But we are doing our Q4 knitting podcast, talking about our makes and stuff for the last 3 months. It's gonna be the last one of the year. Yeah. But yeah, thanks for the raid. Welcome on in, everyone.
Oh, that's awesome, Rubik's.
Yeah. Wait, that's so cool. And also, like, bras and bralettes are pretty difficult to make. I feel like in order for it to like have support, I think like, well, I guess for sewing, I don't know, but at least for knitting, like just making a bralette is like relatively easy, but then like actually like having the support and stuff that you need in there is definitely the more difficult part of it.
Yeah, for sure. That's really cool. So yeah, my last finished object, I made this in like 2 days. Maybe 3 days. I don't even know. This is also technically an acquisition, but I made this little baby bear bonnet.
I love it.
It's so cute. Oh, that's cool. She's got sewing experience.
Ooh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. So this is the Baby Bear Bonnet by Pernille Larsen. So it's like the Knitting for Olive pattern. And the pattern is written for fingering weight and a mohair held together. And like, I guess if you have mohair left over or something, like, sure. But like, I was like, I don't know. Putting mohair in a baby hat, especially because it's a gift also. So I was like, I want this to be like very washable and like, yeah, like they can throw it in the wash. They can drop it, you know, when they're on a walk or whatever. Like, I guess if they use it or whatever. So my friend is due in January. So I have to get this to her soon. So I used Lion Brand Color Theory in the shade Raisin. It's coming up a little like more neutral on the camera. I would say it's like very warm, like kind of a cinnamon stick sort of brown color. But I feel like it's perfect for like the baby bear bonnet. Like it's a good like bear color. I knit the second size and I used a US 4 needle. Yeah, and so I guess despite the fact that this is theoretically, it's listed on Ravelry as worsted weight yarn, and then like the pattern calls for fingering and mohair, but it then says that the gauge is fingering weight for the pattern instead of DK. But then my gauge was 21 stitches by 32 rows, and the pattern gauge is 23 stitches by 34 rows. So like somehow with worsted weight yarn, I managed to get like a tighter gauge than the pattern. Because I had sized up to the second size, intending to, or like thinking that I would make one that was like a little larger, because my friend is quite tall actually, so I was kind of worried if I made like the smallest size, like it maybe would not fit her baby. So yeah, so this turned out actually on measurement for the size 2. With the thicker yarn, but my tighter gauge. So I don't know. It worked out somehow. And yeah, so you start in the front, and you have the choice between a moss stitch band here or like a 2x2 ribbed band. So I went for moss stitch. So you do this, and then you work up to the little ears, and then you leave stitches on hold here, and then you start knitting flat across the back. And then you can see I sort of have this middle section. So this is shaped with short rows and decreases. So it was easy to follow, and I like did the short rows correctly on the first try, and I was kind of impressed with myself. So I was like, cool, okay. So then you have you get down to here and you're done, and then you graft the stitches here together because you have like 2 sides on each of the ears, and then you start the I-cord, and then you do your I-cord bind off along the bottom, and then you finish your I-cord on the other side. So yeah, this took me like 2 evenings to make. Very quick, very cute. I feel like it's like high impact for like low effort. So if any more of my friends have babies, I will probably be making more of these. So yeah.
I want to make one as well. Wait, so what was the makeup of the Lion brand?
It's 100% acrylic.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think it'll be very washable, very baby proof. The only thing I was kind of worried about with like baby safety is like, I don't know if like it's dangerous to have strings around babies, but this is a very popular pattern, so I feel like people would have maybe said something. Yeah,
because at least it's better than like buttons.
Yeah. Okay, it'll probably.
Well, okay. My friend who has a baby that is like almost a year, I think, also made a baby bonnet for her baby, and it has strings, and she's not worried about it or anything. So I think, I think it's fine.
Okay. Yeah.
And I also want to make that for my friend's baby now. It's literally so cute. It
really is, yeah.
Also trying to make it. I think maybe just the gauge. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because the
who knows?
You said was fingering and mohair.
Yeah.
And I assume it's knitting for Olive, fingering and mohair.
Yeah, exactly.
Thin one too.
I know, yeah. And then you use a 3.5 millimeter needle. So I was like, how are you getting a fingering weight? Like, the math was not mathing, but
yeah,
you know.
I think I like heard somewhere like that, like the weights listed on Ravelry are all like they're inputted by like, the designer or something.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
or if it's not, and it's I don't know, it's like not always accurate.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think
but it turned out great.
It did. I think if you have problems, it would be very easy to start over. And again, like this whole thing took me like 2 evenings of knitting. So like it really was not bad at all. The only thing I will say about the pattern is I was confused because the pattern refers to like it does this at some other point as well, but it says something about the right I-cord. And I was like, oh, so like right when you're wearing it. So like this one. But it's like right when you're looking at it. So it's this one, actually, is what the pattern means. So I was like, that was, I guess, I don't know if that's common with like baby knits that they like sort of switch that. Because usually when all the other things I've made, the right refers to like the right side when you're wearing it. So, yeah, that was the only confusing part. But other than that, like I feel like the pattern is like very straightforward, easy to follow, fine, you know. Yeah. Yeah. So that's my baby bear bonnet.
Cute.
Oh, and I used 38 grams of DK weight yarn. So not
Good
bad
to
for
know.
yarn usage.
Yeah, I never know like what yarn to get because like I did get yarn for my friend's baby blanket, which I haven't started. And that's like a cotton something blend.
Okay.
But if I make that beanie, I'm like, oh, like I do have an extra skein of Santa's Garn Double Sunday.
Oh.
But I'm like, it's Double Sunday, so you can't really just throw that in the washer.
Yeah. That's hard.
Yeah, so I might just get something new because I don't think I have. I think I have one of those old like Bernat blanket yarns, but that might be too thick.
Oh, yeah.
But I can look because I think I still have it. But besides that, I don't think I really have anything that's like super baby appropriate. At least like in a smaller quantity.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll have to do some thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. You could also maybe like marl too, like superwash yarns.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Maybe that would work. Yeah.
That'd be cute.
But yeah, I do recommend it. I think it's a good pattern. And it's like super popular also. I mean, let me see. 3,000 projects on Ravelry. Nice. So yeah, it is quite popular. But yeah, that's all my finished objects.
Cute. Okay. Continue with the sport weight. Yeah, I think it'll probably be fine.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine. It'll probably be fine. And again, like, I feel like if it doesn't work, it's very quick to make. So, like, if you're like, oh, this is turning out really small, frog it, cast on again, bigger needle size, bigger size, whatever. Yeah. So, yeah. Do you want to do a whip?
Sure. I have 3 whips. Oh, we were going to talk about our Ghost Whisperers together.
We could do that first if you want.
Yeah, I was going to do Ghost Whisperer first.
Okay.
So this was something that we casted on, I think, yeah, I did talk about it in our last podcast because I casted it on October 1st. Yes. October 1st, and I know our last podcast was October 4th.
Yeah.
But we do not have any footage of it. It's in the void. It's gone. It never happened.
Gone with the wind. Yeah.
But yes. I know I talked about it there, but it's not done. But it's in a state.
It looks so good. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I basically did the neckline and then I put it away and I haven't worked on it. It's missing sleeves.
Yeah.
But this is my Ghost Whisperer, and I'm knitting a size small using the Scranton Stitcher mohair in Groovy Kind of Love. And yeah, I don't know. Here it is. I knit it mostly to pattern except for the lengths. I definitely extended the body. Okay. I think I knit the body to 9.5 inches. So I extended it by 2 inches. And then I did also extend, so this is knitted bottom up. And I did also extend like the back and the front from the armpits, but that wasn't intentional. It was just because I kept knitting on the back and then I was like, oh, I'm not going to frog because I'm like 0.25 inches.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then I did do the I-cord neckline, held double like it asks you to. And I don't know if I'm going to, because in the pattern, you have a choice of a ribbed cuff on the sleeve or an I-cord cuff. And I believe I did I-cord when I made this the first time, which was, I made it as a gift, so I don't have it. I think I did I-cord last time, and I was looking at the Ravelry to see if I wanted to do ribbed, but I think I'm gonna stick with I-cord because I think I like the look. It looks more like a bell sleeve kind of thing. Or maybe I did ribbed. I can literally check.
If only there was some way.
Okay, never mind. I did the ribbed cuff. Now that when I said the bell sleeve thing, because I think that when you do the I-cord, it doesn't cinch in as much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I hadn't considered.
Yeah, eventually I'll pick up the sleeves.
Yeah, no, it looks so good. I mean, I almost feel like you could just wear it like that.
But... Yeah, I do think it's cute as a tank.
Yeah. No, yeah, I love that color.
Bright purple.
Yeah, I had some technical difficulties casting mine on.
Oh, yeah.
But we got there. So I cast on initially on October 1st, as we were planning. And I did a German twisted cast on. And I think it was way too tight. So it was really, really hard to work on. So I have recast on with a provisional cast on. So this will not be part of the finished garment, but this is looking a lot redder. It's like a very dark purpley black-ish.
Ooh, okay.
And this is from Junie and C, that I got at Flock in 2023. And yeah, I'm like a few inches into the body. It's bottom up, as Chris said. And I'm making the size medium. But yeah, I haven't like tried it on yet, but I feel more confident that this will like fit over my shoulders and stuff. So, yeah, but I don't know. I was kind of telling myself, just do like 8 rows a week and then I could have the body done in a month. But gift knitting has kind of taken over, which will be a theme. So, yeah, I could have made a lot more progress on this, and I have not. So, yeah. But that is my Ghost Whisperer, which, one day it will be a shirt. One day.
That reminds me that I was going to mention this again because our last podcast is lost in the void. But I also did have cast on issues, and I know what Oat did with the provisional is because a lot of people suggested that in Ravelry.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I did also have to redo my bind off, and I originally started with German twisted because I was like, oh, it's loose.
Yeah, it's stretchy.
But it sucks to unravel because it's really twisty. So yeah. I would not recommend doing German twisted cast on ever if you are working with like a single strand fluffy yarn that you might have to frog.
I agree. Yeah.
Frog. And so the first time that I cast it on, so my technique is normally keeping it loose, but then also using an extra needle.
Mm-hmm.
So this is knit with 6.5 millimeters. I'm using the pattern size. And I added an extra 3.5 millimeter needle, and that's when I did my first cast on. Too tight, undid it. So then I redid it with long tail, and then I did the 6.5 with the 5 millimeter and kept it like even extra loose. And it works, but I do think it could be even stretchier.
Yeah.
So I feel like the provisional cast on is probably going to be really smart because I think you can make that a bind off stretchier than a cast on. So
yeah. Yeah, and I think, too, if you, like, decide you don't like the length or something later, you can just really easily add some length. Hi, Kuro.
Hi, Kuro.
So, yeah, I looked through a bunch of projects in Ravelry, which I feel like I always end up doing that, like, after I've started a project, and I'm like, I need to do that more, like, before I start a project, so I can, like, be prepared, But, yeah, okay. I have 5 other whips.
Yeah, you go. I had 2. But they're both sweaters.
Oh, okay. Okay. I will start with my longest standing whip, which is... Actually, I did make progress on this. This is my stripe hype sweater.
Oh, yes. Wait, it looks good.
Yeah. This is a pattern by Veronica Lindberg, or Kutovakika. So, sorry, I'm trying to get it all shown here. You can see, so I'm like almost done with the body. I did the collar, and then I have started a sleeve. So I originally cast this on in like October of 2023. And then I was having a lot of problems because this is a drop shoulder. So you knit the back panel, you knit the front panels, you join in the round, and then you knit in the round from there on the body. So for the top, like for the yoke, you're knitting flat. And my tension flat, this was the first garment I ever also tried to make, which I should add. So a lot of the problems on this, I think, were due to just like inexperience. But I have heard other people have similar like row gauge issues. So my issue was that the stripes, the stripes at the top were longer than the stripes like down the body, but you can see now like you really cannot tell a difference between the stripes. They all look nice and consistent, so that's good. And then I did the collar, which is twisted rib with a tubular bind off.
Oh, that looks good.
Oh, thank you.
The twisted rib? Wait, I love that.
Yeah, so the reason I haven't finished the body yet is partially because I think I'm playing Yarn Chicken, unfortunately, and because, so I just did my last like contrast color stripe, so I have one more main color stripe, and then the pattern calls for 10 centimeters of twisted rib for the hem, and I'm like, I'm not ready. I can't. So, well, I'll get there when I get there on that. But I should also mention I'm using Rowan Soft Yak DK. 10 centimeters is like 4 inches of twisted rib. So it's like a decent amount of twisted rib. It's just a little harder on the hands. It goes slower. So yeah. Rowan Soft Yak DK in, I believe it's like beach, and then driftwood is the darker color, or cream. I don't remember. It's either cream or beach, and then driftwood. And let's see, anything else? Yeah, I am very concerned. I don't think ribbed hems are usually that long. So like the hem on my sweater vest is 7 centimeters, and that's just like 1 by 1 rib.
Yeah, I think it's normally like 2.5 to 3 inches is a typical one. I know that the champagne cardigan is either 4 or 5 inches, and that's definitely pretty long.
Yeah. So, I mean, it can be like a nice design feature, I think, but it is a lot to do. Like, I do like how it looks, but I will be, it'll just take some time. I forgot to mention, I did all of the ribbing on this inside out. Like, I did a short row turn, and then I did, so this is the wrong side of my ribbing, but it looks a lot nicer. With twisted rib, you don't really have that, like, problem of, like, the right side looking kind of messy. So I do like how the finishings on this sweater look. Like, I think they look really clean. And I think that it'll be a good length. I have tried it on with the one more stripe and then 10 centimeters of ribbing here. So yeah, at this point I do not have a full skein of the contrast color left. So part of this is like when I first was making it, I like didn't really know about like carrying yarn along or like just, kind of like things that you can do. So I was just like cutting my yarn for each stripe. So then when I initially, after all my row gauge issues, I just frogged the entire thing and I started over because I had to redo like the top yoke or the top. So, and it's top down. So I was like, I'll just start it over. And And so I just have like all these like small quantities of yarn that are like in this bag. And then I have my my back panel that I could frog. So I mean this is like, like this is at least like 3 stripes of a sleeve. So I'm like, maybe I make it because you're like decreasing. So it might be fine. But yeah, I just have a lot of like odds and ends really of mainly the contrast color. Like the main color I have a whole unused skein of. Mm-hmm. And yeah, but so the thing about this yarn that I didn't realize at first also is the Soft Yak DK, it's 76% cotton.
Oh.
Yeah. And then 15% yak, 9% nylon. And it is very soft, but one thing I'm nervous about is that cotton can kind of shrink when you block it also, right? Or does it grow?
I think it grows one direction and shrinks the other direction.
Ooh. So yeah, I'm not like very confident about how it will behave once it's blocked. So I'll probably give it a steam soon to like, because with a drop shoulder also like the length of the sleeve is like influenced by the width of the shoulder because it like drops, down your shoulder. So I'll probably steam it and just to like double check the length of the sleeve. But so I'm hoping to finish the sleeve and then figure out if I have enough yarn or whatever and then act accordingly. But one thing is I have been having a really hard time knitting on the sleeves. I think it's, I don't know. I feel like it's like the small circumference, but then also having like the weight of the garment and like having to sort of constantly turn it. So I'm using my shorties and I'm using 1 3-inch and then 1 2-inch. And I guess I'm using them like in the opposite way that you were saying. So the longer one is my like working needle that I'm forming stitches on. And so I thought maybe that would be easier on my hands. But I feel like I still just like am working on this very slowly. Mm-hmm. So I've been doing like a stripe a day, I think, like when That's I have good. Worked on it. Yeah, so it's coming along. I'm like, I feel like my motivation to get it done, like I would love to have it done by the end of the year. But I mostly am just like, I want this to be done, off my needles, out of my project bag, like finished, like I'm just kind of like, I would like to move on to like making other things. And this has been on my needles for way too long. So I restarted it in July, after frogging the entire thing at some point in the spring. So yeah, I would really like to finish this. And it is getting there. Like we're, I don't know if the finish line is in sight, but like it's definitely, we're closing in on it for sure. I'm more than halfway. So, yeah, but so probably I'll finish a sleeve and then maybe finish the body and then do the other sleeve or something like that. I don't know. So, but yeah, I'm just not looking forward to being at the beginning of a sleeve again. Because I feel like that's the hardest part. So,
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I might switch to Magic Loop and see if that goes better, but I feel like on DK weight yarn, like that's sort of the same thing with the Cargill cowl. That's where I tend to get laddering. But I did my Levitate wrap sleeves on Magic Loop and that was fine. So, but that was like bulky. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens, but
stripe. Have you tried the needles in opposite where the working hand has the shorter one?
I could try that actually. Maybe I will. I haven't tried it. I think. But
is it like a specific hand? I forgot which hand is your one.
I'm right-handed.
Or I don't know which one's like more irritated, but I think the reason why I like
my right hand is more irritated.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if it'll help, but the reason that I like the longer one on my left is just because like I grip grip it more, I think. Whereas the working one, I don't necessarily need all of it.
Yeah, that
actually,
makes sense.
You know what? Is it opposite? Actually, it might be opposite. No.
I mean, I'll try it and let you know how it goes.
You know what? There's a semi-easy solution if I can find one. I think it's the working needle as the shorter one, because there was also something weird, at least for socks, because the 10 inches is honestly a little bit too big for like a rib sock.
Yes.
There's something about that one where having the longer needle on the right just like made a weird crease, I think.
Oh.
But I feel like you're probably not having that issue with the sleeve because it's a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
This is not a whip I was going to talk about because I haven't really worked on it. Oh, okay. Apparently I have the longer one in my right.
Okay. So the same.
Okay. Okay.
But maybe I will try the opposite way and just see how
I guess
that
it's
goes.
also just something like personal. Where
totally.
you need like more of the support. If that is that your right or the left, which maybe it is your right, but
my
and then the
right
other thing
hand
I was
has the pain.
Gonna say is for the sleeve thing. Oh yeah, Pebs. Hi Pebs.
Hi Pebs.
Come here. Let's talk about sleeves together. I've heard similar things and have experienced similar things where it's like when you're working on the beginning of the sleeve, you're like twisting the entire garment.
Yeah.
But I have seen things where they people will put the body of the sweater in like a bag or something, so that in like a project bag, so that when you are twisting it, it's like just the bag. But then also once the sleeve gets a little bit longer, then you don't have to twist the whole sweater.
Yeah. And I've been like waiting for that point to come, and I'm like, I'm not there yet, and it's been like, it feels like it's been forever working on this sleeve. But maybe it's just that it feels like it's been forever working on this sweater. So, hi Pebbles. Aw.
She lick.
So cute. We love you, Pebbles.
You can talk about another whip, maybe?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, continuing with the theme of sleeves. So I guess another project that I could have finished probably at this point. This is in several pieces. This is my Agnete cardigan.
Oh, right.
By Petite Knit. So we have a sleeve, knit flat. We have.
Is that part of the pattern, or is that?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I will explain.
I think I understand. Okay.
We have. Okay, so I showed you my one sleeve. We have another sleeve, knit flat, but this one has been seamed already. Sorry. This is the Agnete cardigan by Petite Knit. It is a brioche cardigan with a double knit button band. I am making mine in West Yorkshire Spinners BFL Fleece DK in the color Ravine. And I am obsessed with this color. I want to have this done so bad. So I finished the body. It's bound off. All that is done. You do the button band while you knit it. So the button band is done. As you saw, I have 2 sleeves. These are done. The sleeves are finished, except for the cuffs. So I was having a really hard time knitting brioche in the round. And I think it just was like, again, that same thing of like when you pick up sleeves and like being so close like to the garment, and then this is 450 grams of yarn, so that's a pound. Like this weighs like 1 pound, so trying to like manipulate that and like move it around I think was just really hard. And then I tried like magic loop and I was like, I don't know if that's gonna work with brioche, and then trying to keep track also of like when I was brioche knitting and when I was brioche purling. Like was hard for me, and I was like, I had such a nice time knitting the body flat. Like, why don't I just knit the sleeves flat? Or I looked through Ravelry projects and somebody else did this. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, the body was really easy to knit flat, and it was like actually enjoyable. Like I really liked it because you literally just do the same thing on each side. Like it's nice. So yeah,
it looks so good.
I really want to wear it on Christmas, but gift knitting.
I mean, this is more like seaming.
I know, yeah. So I literally just need to
just wear the parts.
I just need to, oh my gosh. Well, okay, this isn't blocked, but like I need to attach this to the cardigan. And then I need to make the cuff. And so I knit this to pattern. The length is good. I'll lose a little length this way because it'll widen because it's brioche. But the cuff is 7 centimeters, so I think that'll be fine. And I mean, yeah, that's like, I'm like, this one I literally am at the finish line. Oh, I guess then I need to get buttons. So, but oh my gosh, like,
oh, it looks so good.
Yeah, yeah. And this is like, so I know BFL is like more rustic. I feel like this is soft. Like when you touch it, you're like, wow, this is very soft. It's very squishy. But then if you were to touch like something like this, like the Falkland Islands wool, this is soft. Like you could lay down on it and go to sleep soft. This is like, I think this is going to be really good because I think it's going to be like a very like jacket sort of, like this could be like a overlayer almost. So yeah, that's what I really want to have it done because we're going to Tahoe in a few weekends.
Oh,
and like,
yeah.
I'm just like, I could wear it and it would be snowing and it would be so cute.
It'd be so nice.
So yeah, we're almost there. But, I mean, I do recommend like knitting brioche flat, I guess. Like, I don't know. The seaming on this, I feel like looks pretty good. I just knit the sleeves to pattern, and then I like added a knit stitch to each side. So I had a selvage edge that I could sew up. And then I think it'll be a little trickier, but I don't think it'll be that bad to seam the end on. So, I mean, yeah, it could be done so soon. And then I need to like block it and give it time to dry or whatever. So I'm like, if I want to finish this before Christmas so I can wear it, I need to get it done so that I can block it and it can dry because things are taking forever to dry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love this. I'm obsessed. What size did I make? I think I made the 4th size. The large, and then I used a 3.25 millimeter needle.
Oh, that's so small.
Yeah. So yeah, I started this in July, on July 1st. So, and let's see, I finished the first sleeve on November 3rd, and then I think I finished the second sleeve like mid-November, like just before Thanksgiving. So like this would be done if not for gift knitting. But yeah. Yeah. That's my
It looks so good.
It's almost done. I'm like,
you're so close.
Yeah, I'm really close.
Wow. Honestly, I'm like so impressed because I'm so scared of the Agni pattern because it's knitted on 3.25 with brioche. And
it was fun. Like I really enjoyed knitting brioche. Yeah, it's like not scary. I had to tink back a couple rows once because I was like afraid of like laddering down, but I mean, yeah, I think I don't know. I really enjoyed working on it. Like, I'm like, what other things can I make in brioche?
I still haven't done proper brioche. I've only done half fisherman's ribs, so I'm gonna have to do brioche soon.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally like so squishy. Like, it's so nice. I love it. And yeah, it's just, I really like the experience of like knitting, like, it's the same on both sides, you know? Like, so I just feel like I was like happily working on it on the body. And then I got to like trying to knit brioche in the round, and I was like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm glad I decided to do the sleeves flat. So, my plan is to seam the sleeves, and then I left the stitches on hold, so I'll just do the cuffs in the round. And like use my ends to close up any holes. So, hopefully that goes fine. I don't know if I'm gonna, it is a 1x1 rib. I might do like a short row turn again, but, you know, we'll see. So, yeah.
Cute. I'm so excited for that. That's gonna look so nice.
I know. It's almost there.
Yay.
Yeah. Okay. Your turn, I think.
Yeah. I am gonna talk about my Alvar by Sari Nordland, which I now remembered looking at my notes that I did talk about last podcast, but
you had like
again,
just started, I think.
So I know I thought I just started, but I started this in August.
Oh.
Oh
my gosh.
So here she is. Probably when I started it, I think I just joined in the round or something like that when I talked about it. Because yeah, so this is the Alvar pullover by Sari Nordland, which is like a Gainsy sweater thing. So it has this like little stitch pattern, which is literally just knits and purls, and it's charted. I'm knitting the size 2, and I'm using Explorer Knits and Fibers, Earthy DK, and the color Squim, from the Seattle collection.
It looks so good.
Yeah, I bought this year when they did the pop-up at Bainbridge, at La Mercerie this year. So that's what I'm using for this. I'm using 3.75 millimeter needles, which is one needle size up from what's recommended in the pattern. I did gauge swatch with it, and it was like relatively on gauge. And then I think potentially my gauge loosened up while I was knitting it, but I think I remeasured my gauge recently, and it was fine. And I also did try this on, and I was like fine with the amount of ease it had. So
nice.
That was all good. So the construction for this is like a very Sari Nordland construction where you cast on at the back, and then you do increases along the shoulder, and then you put the stitches on hold, and you pick up at the shoulder seams to make the front. And because it's this texture pattern that's a chart, you need to make sure that you end the front pieces and the back pieces at the same point to join in the round, so that you're at the same row in the chart when you join and start working in the round. And so she kind of gives like a recommendation for each size of when to end the knitting, like what row to end on. And then you put it on hold and you continue with the other one. That didn't work out for me. And it says in the instructions, like, if the length is not to what you want, because it tells you what row to end on, but it also tells you the length that it should be. And so in the instructions, they're like, okay, if it's not the correct length, then just add more yarn and like just knit more, and then just keep track of what row you end on in the chart. So that's what I had to do. And so I essentially had both the front and the back before they were connected on 2 separate needles, just like knitting and then knitting the other one, to like kind of make sure that it was a good length for me. And I think like when I measured my swatch, my swatch was exactly like 4 inches when I knitted it, and then it grew to 4.5. So I think maybe roughly when this blocks, it gains half an inch for every 4 inches. Theoretically, I don't know. So I kind of like guesstimated when I ended, basically. And then you join in the round, and then just knit in the round. And so for this, since I am using hand-dyed yarn, I am alternating skeins. Oh, hi,
Mika!
Mika! You're Evie. Well, look at my Alvar pullover before you sleep. But yeah, so I am alternating skeins. I did not start by alternating skeins. I started with one skein on the back, and then when I picked up the shoulder, I used a completely different skein because from my eye, I couldn't tell the difference between the yarn. But I think you can tell here that nope, this way. That these are different shades.
Yeah. It's very slight, though.
Very slight. I can only tell in certain lightings. Yeah. But this one is definitely lighter than this one. So because of that, I was like fine if the shoulder was gonna have a seam, like whatever. So I started alternating when I joined in the round. Somewhere here, and I think you can not really tell. I think it looks pretty seamless, especially with the texture and everything. If it looks a little off, I feel like it's just, you can blame it on the texture. But I didn't want to do helical knitting just because I didn't want to deal with having to be on two different rows of the chart at the same time. Yeah. So I'm just crossing the yarn back on the side, on one side, and it's on this side. And there definitely is like a seam that you can tell here. But I don't really mind because it's on the side. Yeah. So it's all good there. And yeah, I think I'm at the point where I want to pick up the neckline and knit that to just like kind of see. Yeah. And I think because I'm alternating, I'm just going to continue doing the body and then I'll do the sleeves instead of stopping now. I think that's probably fine.
Yeah. Yeah, because you have two balls attached to your...
Yeah, and I have 5 total skeins. I've used up 2 already, and so I'm on the 3rd and 4th, and I have 1 more skein left. So yeah, so I didn't really, a lot of times when I'm alternating, I try to leave 1 skein that I used for the top yoke to use on the beginning of the sleeves, but I didn't do that this time. Whatever. I think it should be okay.
It'll be fine.
But yeah,
it looks so good.
I'm very excited for this.
Yeah, I love the texture.
I think I want this to be like kind of longer so that I can like tuck it in really easily.
Yeah. Okay.
So we'll see. I'm currently not worried about yarn, but I guess I'll continue knitting, and then maybe if I get worried, then I'll do the sleeves first. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yay. Wait, I want to wear this.
Yes. It's going to be so cute.
Wow. Okay. Also, I highly recommend non-superwash yarn because I've been spit splicing this, and I've been spit splicing the other whip that we'll talk about.
Okay, so, well, I can talk about this one really quickly. This is like technically a whip, but it's also like 2 small finished objects. But like I have plans for a lot more, so I will cut to the chase. This is the beginnings of my tiny scrappy sweater garland. So these are the mini crop puff by Geraldine Yang. Yeah. So I am using up leftover sock yarn to make tiny sweaters. And then I am going to put them all onto a garland, and it'll be really cute, and I'll have like a nice winter decoration. So this one is, Retrosaria by Rosa Pomar, Mondim. I don't know what color it is. I could tell you, but I would have to scroll around. It's this color where it's white and it has like turquoise and blue and purple. And it's the leftover yarn that I used for my Ripple bralette earlier this year. So I have like, I think still like 20 grams left. Yes, next winter, exactly. And then this one is from a mini set from Lamb Good Fibers that I got at Flock in 2023.
Oh, cute.
Yeah. So this one I knit to pattern because this was my first one. So you start, it's like a raglan. You like essentially are knitting like a tiny raglan. So you do some ribbing for the collar. You do your raglan increases, you literally put like, however many stitches this is on hold, you put your sleeves on hold, you knit the body, you do some ribbing at the bottom, and then you come back, you make the sleeves, and you do a little ribbed cuff. So I was kind of unhappy with, like, obviously this is very small. Like, one, it's not even a garment. Two, it is literally small. Yeah, so I did knit these on Magic Loop, on a US 1, which is 2.25 millimeters.
Okay, yeah, that's like sock gauge, basically.
Yeah, like what my needle I would use for a sock. So I was unhappy with how my 1x1 ribbing looked at the bottom because of, classic 1x1 ribbing problems. And I thought that the collar kind of, like, if you look really close at it, it kind of looked messy to me. So for this one, I experimented with doing twisted rib for the hem. And then the ribbing on the sleeve cuff, like, was just very fiddly and, like, not very fun. And I don't think it's very impactful in the finished, like, object. So I just did stockinette. Like,
oh, that's stockinette?
Yeah, this is
it looks great.
Yeah, and I think it looks like, I prefer.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think they both look fine, but it just was a lot, like, doing ribbing on, like, 10 stitches. I don't, like, it was annoying. And I was like, you really cannot even tell, like,
no,
if tell. They're, like, way back here, even, like, as a garland, like. So, yeah, I don't know how I'll do my next ones. I'm sort of, like, I very quickly ran out of, like, leftover quantities of sock yarn that I felt like I could use, because these both used about 6 grams of yarn. And a lot of my sock leftovers, like, I've made just a pair of socks with, and then, so I have, like, 40 grams of, like, sock yarn. So, I think we were talking about this last time, but I've kind of been looking at, like, I could literally make, like, another pair of socks with that. Like, I could do some toe-up shorties. I could do, like, use it as a contrast for a pressed flowers sock. Like, there are so many different things I could do with that quantity, or, like, even other accessories, right? So I'm kind of having a hard time, like, detaching myself from all of those, like, thoughts of what could this yarn be. But so I need to make some more socks before I make some more tiny sweaters. But so I think in terms of, like, in the future, when I do have enough to turn them into a garland, right now I just have them, like, on my Christmas tree, and they're so cute. But I think I was, like, trying to think, like, how would I attach these to a garland? Like, I could do a little loop. I could, like, just sort of sew them to a garland, like, sew the collar on there. And then I was like, I've been keeping this, like, I don't even know where I got this. It was, like, some packaging or, like, something, maybe, I don't even know. I have this, like, wire. Maybe it was, like, floral wire that I bought or something. But I was like, I could make tiny hangers. And I could hang the tiny sweaters on the garland. Yes, I could also do, like, a mini laundry line. That would be really cute. But yeah, potentially tiny hangers as well, because I have been saving that wire for a rainy day, literally for years. And it would be good to, like, do something with it. So these are my, this is a whip. It'll be a very long-term whip. Like, I probably won't talk about it in every episode unless I, like, really am, as I said, I have a lot of socks to make before I make more tiny sweaters. But this is my plan for, like, smaller quantities of my sock leftovers. So yeah, because I've sort of been trying to think, like, with my leftover yarn, like, what do I want to do with it? I don't just want it, like, kind of sitting around for forever, and you don't need to keep 40 grams on hand for darning purposes, So, yeah. So I'm quite happy. And these take me, like, 4 hours, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
It's not very bad.
Yes, Mika. Yeah. I think we all should be making tiny sweaters. They're so cute.
They're like, I love them. I've seen several other patterns. So the one I mentioned, the mini crop puff, is raglan, and it's a free pattern. And then there's another one that's a circular yoke. And so I saw that one, and like the samples had like different color work like in the yoke.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I've seen those.
It's so cute because they all have like different color work motifs in the yoke, but then like it's like they're the same colors and they're all small, and like I was like, this is so cute. So, and I'm sure also you could make it like a little larger. Like if you just did the body like a little wider, I think this could be like a good like gift card hat. Like if you were gifting someone like a gift card, or people do these as like promise keepers also. Like if you're making someone a sweater, or if you're going to make someone a sweater, you like gift them this for Christmas, and then you make them the sweater, you know. So anyways, yeah, that's my tiny scrappy sweater garland. Coming in 2025. Hopefully.
So cute. Mika, which Sanderson book did you just start in? You're not reading
The Worst
Stormlight,
Time.
Yeah, I need to figure out things to do with my scraps, but every time I try to think about scrap things, I'm like, I don't have enough scraps. But then I'm like,
it's hard to have like the right quantity of scraps, and then it's like you don't want to buy yarn to make a scrappy project. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard.
Not me with my Big Little Yarn Co. Studio Ghibli Club's yarns for a blanket, which I feel like blankets are normally like, you know, a scrap project. What do you mean you haven't finished the whole thing already? Wait, are you starting the Stormlight series, or you're starting Stormlight 5? I was like, I don't know if you've read Stormlight 4 unless I've just missed the entire conversation because it's all in a thread in Matt's Discord.
Oh, no, I meant like buying new yarn to use with your scraps. You know what I mean? Like, which I like is valid, I think. But like, like if you're making like a sweet shop blanket, right? You need to buy a main color maybe. But Anyway.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's hard to get like the right quantity of scraps. And make sure they're all coordinating. Like,
yeah, and like having the same weight and everything.
Yeah.
So, we'll get there eventually. We'll get there. I'll have to evaluate. Hexatop Beekeeper's Quilt. Yeah,
that's
true.
Cute.
Those are really cute.
I've seen people recently doing them with like sort of in the style of like English paper piecing flowers. So like you do like one central hexie that's like one color, and then you do the 6 around like in the same yarn. So they look like flowers, and so yeah, I think that's really cute.
Oh yeah, Way of Kings. Okay, well, good luck. That's a lot of pages. Yeah, I want to make an heirloom quilt cardigan soon. And I do really like, not the sweet shop blanket, but the one that is in the quilt pattern. Like, I think that one's also so
quilt
cute. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. Lots of plans. But I will talk about my next and final whip, which is also an acquisition. So, and I am also another Starry Nordland pattern. So I started the Lume pullover by Starry Nordland. I started this about a week and a half ago. So this is all I've been working on, and I think I knit like half a row on the Alvar at one point when I couldn't continue for some reason on this one. But yeah, so this is a colorwork sweater by Starry Nordland. It's like a pretty, one of her like popular patterns, and also like older patterns.
Yeah. It's so gorgeous.
Yeah, I'm so excited for this.
It looks so good.
I am knitting it in Knitting for Olives Heavy Merino in the shade Plum Clay is my main color.
Wait, Plum Clay.
Yeah.
I was looking at this color. Oatmeal
is my contrast color. So basically one day, a week and a half ago, on Black Friday, actually.
Yes.
I remembered that Acorn Street Shop starts their holiday sale, which is 20% off one purchase between Small Business Saturday and like the end of the year, Christmas or something like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've been wanting to make a Lumi pullover. I'm feeling pretty inspired by it. I think just because it's the holidays and I feel like color work is very
I've been seeing
holiday-y.
A lot of them lately too.
Me too. Yeah. I watched like 3 podcasts and I'm like, why did we all start making pullovers? Yeah, and then I was like, I've always planned to make this in Cascade 220 because I've only ever used Cascade 220 for a gift knit and never for myself. But then I remembered that Acorn Street started carrying Knitting for Olive late this year. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go in store, and if I like a color combo from Cascade 220 more, then I'll get that. But if I like the Knitting for Olive, anyway, I did kind of look at Knitting for Olive first, and then I did look at Cascade 220, and I was like, but yeah, I basically went and I was like looking at the different main colors, and like they obviously don't have the full color selection in Knitting for Olive because there's so many colors.
Yeah.
And I originally wanted a heathered color as the main color and a non-heathered as a contrast color. But the heathered color that I found within this color family, because I wanted it to be like a darker taupe or darker gray, I thought was a little too light and I think warm for my preference and when I like held it against my skin and everything. So I settled on Plum Clay. I don't know. I like this one better. And then I was deciding between 2 contrast colors, one which wasn't a heather, and then one that was. I can look through my messages to remember the name, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But when I held Oatmeal next to Plum Clay, I thought that Plum Clay just brought out these more like purpley tones in the heather of Oatmeal that you can't really see like individually. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I really liked that. And I was like, okay, we're going to go with it. And before I went to the store, I also like decided on which size to make and everything since I needed to know how much to make or how much to buy. So the Lumi pullover is knitting Oatmeal. So
true.
The Lumi pullover is a sweater pattern that has less ease. Which, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, because it's an older pattern, kind of makes sense. Because I think the, like, extreme positive ease got more trendy.
Recently.
Yeah. I don't even know when this was published. But I decided to knit a size 3 because I like more positive ease. So this would give me about 20 centimeters, 20 to 25 15 to 20 centimeters of positive ease, about 7 inches. But also it's because I recently, I don't know, within the last 3 months, I watched a knitting podcast from Laura Penrose where she was talking about designing the, I think, Maxine sweater, which is her latest color work sweater that was just released. And she talked about in that podcast how she discovered by making the circular yoke color work that she has broader shoulders than her bust measurement. And I've always been someone who like sized up with shirts because I didn't like the way that tighter like sleeves things felt around my shoulders. So I did like very loose measurements of my shoulders and compared it to the size chart. And I too was like, oh, maybe it's not that I have broad shoulders, but it's that my bust is small for my shoulders. Cause like, I think when I looked at it, my shoulders, my waist, my hips were within the same size, and then my bust was like 1 or 2 sizes smaller. So I was like, oh, that's probably why I like a lot of positive ease. So that's also one of the reasons why I was like, I'm gonna size up.
Yeah.
And so I know that within the Maxine sweater pattern, I kind of feel bad talking about this. Well, I know that she added modifications to the sweater pattern for people who have broader shoulders.
Yes.
And she did talk in her podcast specifically that the modification is that you knit the larger size and then you decrease after you knit the color work for the yoke so that your body and sleeves are the correct measurement. So I was like, because I was originally planning on buying the pattern so I could see what the mod is. But then she said that in the podcast, and I was like, okay, I can just do whatever I want. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, like I'll just take that information and run with it. But that's why I chose the size 3. And yeah, I literally cast this project on the same day that I bought the yarn. I like came home and I was like, it's time. But yeah, I'm using all the same needle sizes that is mentioned in the pattern, with the 5mm for color work, 4.5 for just the plain stockinette, and then 4 for the ribbing. And I did mod the neckline slightly in that it tells you to knit the whole neckline, and then at the end you like whip stitch it together, but I just knit 2 together at the same time. Mine, you can see it kind of like stands up a little bit, and it's a little wide, but I'm hoping that this kind of like stretches out a little bit like that, and then I can
wait, so you haven't blocked it?
No, I haven't blocked it.
Your tension is like incredible.
Thank you.
It looks so nice.
Like a little bit of puckering, and a lot of my problem with color, like circular yoke sweaters. Well, I've only knit 2, and they've both been color work, but I think it's the increases. I just like, I don't know. I think they look a little bit weird, but I notice them in like other people's projects too. So I think it's just the nature of circular yoke. Yeah. But what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So I did do a swatch for this, but I was just really excited to cast on the project. So this is probably the worst swatch I've ever done in my life. When I was swatching, I forgot, and I confused the needle size. So I did do it in the round, by the way.
Okay.
But I did the stockinette, like 2 rows of stockinette in the 5mm, and then I sized down to 4.5 to knit my color.
Oh my gosh.
But I think I measured it and I was like, close enough. Started the project. Because I was really excited. And I'm using the CNET needles. Wow, I've been saying everything out of order because I've been really excited about this. So here's my really bad swatch. I also didn't block this. I will block this before I wash it just to make sure there's no bleeding. And then if the swatch bleeds, then I'll figure it out. But it's commercial yarn, so it should be okay. What else? Oh, the other thing.
Good night,
yes,
Mika.
Have good sleep, Mika. Thanks for hanging.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by.
The other thing is the Lume pattern was updated at some point on Ravelry. Oh. And I did not know, because I've bought this pattern like at some time, maybe a year ago when Sari Nordland had a pattern sale. So I've had this pattern for maybe like a year. And I thought that it would just update if there was an update.
Yeah.
But apparently you need to press a button. That's it. It's like an update is available. Do you want to update? And you say yes, and then it adds another entry into your library with the updated pattern. Huh. And it doesn't even distinguish. It's just Lume pullover again in my library. I don't know.
Weird.
But I didn't discover this until I got to the first increase row in the chart, in the colorwork chart, because I had the outdated version of the pattern.
Oh, yeah.
And in the outdated version of the pattern, in the chart, one of the things in the legend keys,
the key,
said invisible increase with the contrast color. And I was looking at it, like, I don't even know how you do this in the contrast color, because the invisible increase you lift. I mean, I guess, you would just, I don't know, but I was confused about it. And then I was like looking at the sweater pictures and I was like, there aren't random stitches in the contrast color. Yeah. I searched about it on Ravelry, and people in the comments also were like, this is a mistake. It's supposed to be the main color. It is updated in the updated version of the pattern. But the notes on the update are just that it updates the format of the pattern, and it doesn't say any like that it has a correction or anything in it. And I did check. I'm working off of the old version because I was too lazy to like transfer notes over, but I did look at the updated version after the fact, and it does correct in the chart that it's invisible increases with the main color. So just FYI, because I feel like I've watched a bunch of knitting podcasts about the Lume and no one's ever mentioned this. So either they figured it out, or they knew how to update their pattern and we're working off of the updated pattern. But just in case, if you have an older version of the Lume, make sure that it's updated and you use the updated pattern, or just know that it's invisible increase with the main color, which you can tell from looking at the pictures, but it is a little misleading.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and then I did make one other mod. I'm knitting size 3, but I've just split for sleeves. So literally today, I was not doing a lot of work today. But I put my sleeve stitches on hold and I'm working on a body. And I was kind of like looking at the measurements and stuff, and I do like, again, like I was saying, like looser sleeves. So I changed the stitch count slightly. And I did try to like look to see if it like works with the colorwork motifs, but I don't think it's really that careful. Like the stitch counts in the pattern itself are not very careful on like making sure the motifs like measure up somewhere. But I don't know, it ended up okay because I think I have a flower in the center, which is cool.
Yeah.
But I adjusted it so that I have 4 more. Is it 4? I think it's 4. Yeah, I have 4 more stitches on each sleeve, and then 8 less stitches on the front and the back. So that puts me at the size 4 in sleeves and an in-between size 2 and 3 for the body, which I wanted to make sure that I have the sleeve counts correct in the pattern because there's also sleeve color work.
Ooh,
but I also might do extra decreases to get it back down to a size 3 sleeve. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll figure that out later. But for the body, it doesn't really matter because it's an even number, so the ribbing will be fine, and then there's no more color work on the body. So
yeah,
I did do the short rows. So the back. The short rows are after the color work. So the back is longer than the front. And then there's also short rows at the hem, which I assume is because when you do a circular yoke, the side hems kind of lift up a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like a circle.
Yeah, yeah.
So I assume that's what the hem short rows are for, to drop the back.
Yeah.
But I'm not positive because I didn't read that part of the pattern except for the title.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And that a lot of people, the projects that I looked at on Ravelry, a lot of people skipped the short row at the hem.
Yeah.
But I'm planning on doing that. So.
Cool. No, yeah, that's like literally so pretty. And you're so far on it already. That's crazy.
I know. It's worsted weight, so it goes pretty fast.
Yeah. But oh my, like your color work looks so good.
It looks so.
Yeah.
And it looks like just so much more graphic from like afar.
Yeah.
You know, like especially these little things at the bottom. Like every time I actually look at it, also I'm looking at it from upside down, right? Because that's the way I'm working. And I'm like, it looks like nothing. And then I look at it here and I'm like, oh, okay. I see the little like, you know, pointiness.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I'm really excited for that. Yay.
Yeah. No, yeah, plum clay is a color I was looking at from Knitting for Olive. Actually, specifically in the heavy merino. Because I was looking at like sort of their selection of dark browns and everything, but it's really interesting. Like I was looking at a lot of like projects on Ravelry, and like in some lights it looks more like purple, and then in
you
some
were sending
lights,
pictures of it.
Yeah, it looks more brown. So I feel like that'll be like a cool like sort of in different lights it'll, you know, kind of color changey.
Yeah, I'm excited for it because it's definitely a purpley brown.
Yeah. It's so pretty.
Like when I just hold this up here, it just looks like a cool tone brown.
Yeah, exactly.
But then like when I hold this up, you can see
it does look kind of purpley.
Yeah.
So cute. Well, speaking of purple, okay, so my last 2, I guess, whips are gift knits for Christmas. So the first one is a pair of socks for my mom, hopefully, if the fit works out. So I am just making, I guess, sort of a vanilla sock, but kind of just like self-drafted with this Zauber ball that I've had. for a few months. And so I finished the first sock. So this is the Zauberball. This is how one sock turned out. So it is a 3x1 rib, because I find that's really nice for gift knits, because the rib, obviously, it's very stretchy. I did a slip stitch heel flap, and gusset. And then, yeah, similar to your sock, the bottom of the foot is stockinette, and then the top is 3x1 rib. And then I did a normal wedge toe. So I did 72 stitches because my mom is the same shoe size as me, and I inherited her wider feet. So I was like, probably, like, I didn't measure her feet or anything before I started these. So I was kind of like, if it fits me, it'll probably fit her. And like, I'm considering like bringing my needles on Christmas. So like, if the length needs serious fixing, like I can just sort of do it, and then she can have the socks. So yeah, these, let's see, I started these November 20th, and I just finished the sock like last night.
It looks good.
Yeah, I do love a Zauberball. I think I started this like as a treat because it's just really nice to, I don't know, I love the color change, and like this one has like a little bit more gray than I think I like especially this big section in the foot here. I don't know, I kind of wish it was just more of like a lighter purple, and I like really love like this, like when these two colors sort of blend together, like the more fuchsia-y bright purple, but it is what it is. I think it still looks nice. So yeah, so I have cast on the second sock and done one row because I would like to finish these before Christmas. But yeah, 3x1, 72 stitches. I did 4 inches for the leg, and then the foot I think is like 5.25, 5.25 inches, and then I started the toe. And yeah, one thing I'm not sure about with sock fit recently, so my red and blue socks that I made that were finished in the last podcast, those were 72 stitches, and they were in like sort of a waffle stitch texture. Those fit, but then after I blocked them, they were like quite loose. So I sort of wasn't sure if that was like because my sock blockers are too big, or if it was just like the texture really opened up, or like kind of what. Because I do feel like some of my like vanilla like stockinette socks are maybe a little loose. So I've been considering going down to 66 stitches for myself. So we'll see. I'll report back probably when I make my next pair of socks. But so these are coming along. Yeah, so I have to do one more sock.
Cute.
But yeah, so hopefully my mom likes them. She like sort of vaguely expressed interest in like, like a very subtle way when I said that I had been making socks for James. So I was like, okay, maybe she'd like a sock. And then, so I mentioned earlier, so that's that on that. I mentioned earlier the Lion Brand Color Theory, and I bought that to make some mini mince pies by Louise Walker. So these are like a little, sorry, I have to like find all of my pieces in here. Okay, here we go. So this is the one I'm the farthest on. I'm making 4 of these.
They're so cute.
Yeah. They are very cute. So they're about 3.5 inches across. So these I am going to add a little loop onto and then gift them as ornaments to my in-law family. So I'm making 4. One of them is for us. And James is English, so like mince pies are like a Christmas tradition. So I mean the pattern is nice. I feel like you could knit one of these in an evening if you wanted to. But I'm sort of assembly lining them. So there are 3 different pieces. So there's there's a bottom piece. And then there's like the pie piece, which looks like that. And then you knit the star. So you can see so this is the Lion Brand Color Theory in the color Bone. And then this contrast is that same color Raisin that I used for the baby bear bonnet. And then the star, you hold the main color with I did a piece of embroidery thread. And it's supposed to mimic like powdered sugar.
Cute.
Yeah, so these are like really cute. So there's 3 pieces per thing. I have 4 bottom pieces done. I have 2 pie pieces, and then I have 2 stars done. So I actually went down a needle size for the star because the first one I made, I felt like it covered too much of like the sort of the filling. So yeah, I went down a needle size. I'm using a 3.75 millimeter needle for this, so I went down to a 3.25 for the, is that right? No, maybe 3.5. Probably, yeah. 3.5 millimeter needle for the star. So yeah, I mean, the bottom pieces are like really very simple and small. The pie pieces, I think, are kind of killer, especially on the hands. So you can see like they kind of have this like detail here, like the crust of the pie.
Yeah.
And then also it like turns there. So all of the increases in this are knit front and back. But then when you do this part, because you work these flat and then you seam them down the side at the end, you knit front, back, front across an entire row. And then you purl, and then you knit 3 together across the entire row, and that's how you get like the edge of the pie and like the sort of raised bit that is the crust. And it looks nice, but it's a lot. So, it took me like one evening to make like the 4 bottom pieces and then like 1 pie. And then so I think I can like finish all of this pretty quickly. I've been pretty focused on the socks. Because I'm kind of like at a point where I'm like, okay, like one evening for both pies and then make 2 stars and then seam everything. But the kind of decision point I'm at right now is with the eyes. So these are just safety eyes. They're like, I think 12 millimeter. And nobody that I'm gifting these to has children. So I did get the safety eyes, but I kind of don't like the way that like there's sort of just a dimple around the safety eye, like where it goes in, and I don't know if I like that. Plus I have to get black embroidery thread for the mouth anyways. They're supposed to have a little smile. So I might just try embroidering the eyes on like another star and then see how that looks. And go from there. So that's kind of the decision I need to make just to finish all of this up. So, and then I'm going to use up a lot of my yarn ends as stuffing. So I'm really excited to be able to like get sort of a lot of those out of my stash. But yeah, so those are my mini mince pies.
They're so cute.
And I'm really excited.
Yeah. I was looking back because I have some of my like amigurumi up here. I personally like the look of safety eyes more than
Oh, okay.
embroidered eyes. I was looking back because I was trying to remember if I embroidered any. I don't have any embroidered eyes here, but my grub has like a crocheted magic
Mm-hmm.
circle eye,
Mm-hmm.
which I think looks good because it's like a bigger eye.
Yeah.
But I love the safety eyes.
Yeah.
I'm
They were
like on camera,
cute.
I'm not really seeing the dimple,
Okay.
but I can imagine what that is. Probably because you have to put it through the 2 layers of the
Yeah.
fabric,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see what the embroidered eyes looks like.
Yeah.
Because it could be really cute for the pie, and
Yeah.
then yeah, without the dimple and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, I have like I haven't been working on this also. I guess yeah, I've been working on the socks and my stripe pipe because I really would love to get that done by the end of the year. And I feel like with these I'm sort of like if I'm knitting them on Christmas Eve frantically, like that's fine. You know, like they don't need to block. Like
Yeah.
I've made each of the pieces. I've sort of troubleshooted like, you know, the things that I need to troubleshoot, I think. So, I'm feeling pretty good about these. But yeah, and I'm glad also I was able to make the baby bear bonnet with that yarn because the you really don't use very much of the contrast color at all.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I think it was nice to use a little bit more of that up, but then I will have like a bit of this Lion Brand color theory left over. Oh yeah, and this is like a worsted weight. It says medium, uh, but it's like 246 yards for 100 grams. So like I kind of like I think it's DK, but it says worsted. The pattern calls for DK, and I knit these to pattern, and I'm getting the same circumference. So
Yeah, I think
I also just have a
I don't
tight
know. I don't
gauge.
know what acrylic
Yeah,
like weight ratio
I
is.
guess that's true. Yeah. Um. Yeah, those are all my whips.
Yay,
Yay!
cute.
Hopefully, a lot of them will be finished very soon. Like I feel
Yes.
like I'm close to the finish line.
You have all your gift knits. I
Yes.
don't have any gift knits planned for this year, but I think because I took a break last year from gift knits, but then I
Yeah.
ended up making like
Yeah.
3 fingerless mittens.
Yeah.
And then this year I also wasn't planning on making anything, so we'll see if I change that.
Yeah. I was
But I think
not planning
next
on making
year,
any.
yeah, I might. I think maybe next year I'll gift knit again. I don't know. I just like wanted to take a break
Yeah,
and
for
like
sure.
focus on
For
making
sure.
things for myself.
Yeah. No, that's so valid.
Um, but I don't know. We'll see. It is fun to make things for other
It is
people.
fun. Yeah.
So
And I think these are like really delightful. Like I
mhm.
saw the pattern and I was like, I have to make those because we
Yeah,
have
they're
mince pies
so
every
cute.
Christmas, like with
Yeah.
James's family. So I think they're just gonna be really cute. Um,
Love it.
yeah. Okay. Do you want to do a quick break before we do
Yes,
acquisition? I have
acquisition.
to pee.
I am gonna eat some chocolate.
Okay. Have a quick
Okay,
break.
BRB.
BRB chat. Do I have like a BRB text?
I
Maybe
don't.
not. Okay. BRB. Good timing.
Perfect timing.
We planned
that. Totally. Seeing you both walk away was so cozy somehow. We are both in like very cozy knitwear, you know, so.
Sorry, just, oh no. Okay, I unplugged my headphones.
Oh. Acquisition time. I was so tame.
Okay.
I'm so proud of myself in this quarter.
You did great. I also love to acquire. It's so nice. So fun.
I know. Acquiring is so great.
Sorry. I had to like slide my acquisitions towards me and then I unplugged my headphones accidentally.
It happens.
How should we do this?
I think you should just go.
All right. Okay, so acquisitions. So we talked about my scrappy sweater project, and then I recently started the socks with the Zauberball. So like sort of over the past few months I was looking at my like collection of sock skeins and I was like, I actually don't really have that much sock yarn. Like I think I have 2 maybe left that I like hadn't touched. And I was like, oh, I need more sock yarn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been making socks. So, first was EKF's in-stock update. Explore Knits and Fibers. And so I got a skein of, it's blown out. Okay, there we go. Denali sock in the color Smog, which is so pretty. It's like this very variegated gray. I do feel like it has some blush tones in it.
I think it does.
It's really nice. Like I'm happy with this. And so my vision for this is I'm going to make some varsity stripe socks. And hopefully I'll get 2 pairs. So I want to use for my like stripe some of my minis, which also are from EKF. So they're kind of looking not the right colors. This is like in my neon era. So it's like a very neon pink.
Oh, I thought that was red. Okay.
Yeah, it looks very red right now, but this is neon pink. This one is
pepperoncini?
Pepperoncini, yes, thank you. Chris, knower of EKF colors.
I know.
I know this is Gumwall. It's like a gummy pink.
It's showing like orange.
Pastel. Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not. And then this is Balsamico. And then the blue is like maybe from the Seattle collection, right? Do you remember?
Puget Sound. So from my camera, it looks like Puget Sound, and it honestly, like from what it's showing on camera, the purple is looking more like Squib than it looks like Balsamico, but I'm sure that it looks different in person.
Yeah.
Just what it's showing on screen here.
I think
I know you can't have colors way too much. But I know you like messaged the colors.
Yeah, I think I had sent a photo and
yeah, I think we were like, yeah, it's probably Balsamico.
Yeah, this is looking a lot more gray in the camera. It's like, yeah. So I'm hoping to have like mainly like one of them I know I want to be like 2 neon pink stripes, and then the other one I can't decide if I just want to do the same thing and do 2 neon yellow stripes, or if I want to do like a neon stripe, a blue stripe, and then another neon stripe.
Like, oh, that would be cute.
Yeah. So anyways, those incoming socks.
So cute.
And then my friend Chris was telling me about Craft Me Not Yarn Co.'s Zelda collection. And so I had looked at the Zelda collection several times and I was being good. I didn't buy anything. And then their like leftovers from it went on sale. So it was like every Thursday they were going to go 10% more on sale until they were sold out. So I think I got each of these like 30% off. So I like waited a few weeks. And I was just kind of like checking in on what was in stock still. So I got 3 colors, and these are all from the Zelda collection. Mayo.
Hi, Mayo.
So this one is Necluda C, and it's like so pretty. It's this really dark teal color. This one is Cherry Blossom. Oops.
Oh, cute.
And then this one is Swift Violet.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So they're just like such nice colors. I feel like they also coordinate pretty well with like my EKF yarn. So we'll see. I don't think I have plans for these two yet. This one I would like to make the wood smoke socks. By I think This Handmade House or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're like a cabled sock, but it's like a really elongated cable, and they're like so pretty, and I think it'll be really pretty in this yarn. So I'm so excited. So yeah, this was all on sale.
Love that. 30% off. Incredible.
Yeah. So that is like the beginning group of my like sock acquisitions. And so then my husband and I took a little weekend trip I guess like a month ago for our 2-year wedding anniversary, which is crazy.
Yay!
And so we drove down to Solvang, which is like north of Santa Barbara. On our way back up, I had seen this like tiny town that had a yarn shop. And I was like, I want to go to this yarn shop. It was on the way. So it's called the Old Orcutt Yarnery. And it was like such a cute yarn shop. They have Looka needles, like the individuals. And I was like, I was like, oh my gosh. Like, and they had like so much yarn. They had like vintage buttons. Like, it was like and they were having like a knitting, like crafting time when I was there. So like the shop was like full of people, and they were like, hi. And I was like, I should have brought my knitting.
So
like,
cute.
Yeah, it was adorable. And I was like, why don't I live closer to this yarn shop? So, and they had a good selection too. But so they have their own line of sock yarns, hand-dyed sock yarns. So I asked James which color he would like. Yeah, this is called...
What a great idea.
Well, I mean, I think I gave him a few options, and then he was like, yeah, sure. But this is called Space Force. Because I think like Point Loma is like nearby, and that's where like the Space Force is or something. So this is 80/20 merino nylon. Interestingly, this is 387 yards per 100 grams. So I don't know. I guess maybe it's a little thicker, but like, or maybe it's just like we're used to the same sort of sock base across indie dyers or something. But yeah, it's quite soft. So I picked up this, and then the other thing I picked up, I'm so excited about. So I saw this, I wasn't planning on buying any yarn. I saw this yarn and I was like this is, I wonder if you can guess what project I am going to use this for.
Wait, I don't. Do I?
You might. I feel like when I say it, you're going to be like, oh my gosh.
Is this for pressed flowers?
No.
Or no?
No,
it's for... Oh. Wait. No, just tell me.
It's for the oat camisole.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's this pattern called the oat camisole.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah. So the pattern uses Gepard garn, like cotton waves or something. and it's this like very schlubby cotton. This is Eco Butterfly Organics. And I couldn't find, like, I found the company on Ravelry, but I didn't find this specific yarn. But it's handcrafted Andean Mist Sport Flam yarn, organic cotton, unmercerized botanical colors, and color grown shades. So this is 130 yards per 50 grams, and it's the colorway Sage. So I think it's a little thinner.
Wait, so it's probably dyed with sage.
I think so, yeah, because it is coming up so like cool. True to color on camera. Like it's not like a sage green at all. But yeah, I mean, I think it's really soft. Yeah, I saw it and I was like, that's literally perfect. So, I got eight skeins of this, and I am hoping to make the oat camisole, which is like a textured camisole. And I hope, because I think the Gepard yarn is worsted, and this is like DK-ish, but it is very like textured, so that I think the weight is maybe not consistent. So like, I mean, I'll definitely swatch, but I might have to do some like shenanigans with the sizing and everything. But so yeah, this was from that same yarn store, Old Orkut Yarnery. And so if you're in the Central Coast area ever, I recommend stopping by because it was really cute.
So cute. Oh my gosh. I don't think that's south enough for me because I'm going to be in LA and driving out of San Diego.
Yeah, it's pretty north from, yeah.
Fortunate. Which I'm trying to decide if I should go yarn, because I know there's like a yarn store in San Diego.
Apricot Yarns.
Yeah, that like people talk all the time about.
That's where I got this yarn. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I guess we'll see where San Diego brings me. I think I won't seek out yarn in LA because I think that would be more difficult because LA and with traffic.
Yeah.
The San Diego, I think perhaps.
Yeah.
But I'm also there. I don't know if they're going to be open when I'm there. So I don't know.
Yeah. I was there in San Diego when it was like pouring rain and flash flood warnings, and they were open. So.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. Yes, I will be in LA. I can message you, but I also.
LA is huge.
LA is difficult. I'm really stressed trying to meet up with people in LA. I do have a little bit more freedom this time because I am renting a car, but. I'm also sharing said rented car, so
yeah,
we'll see. I will message you.
Yeah, I really liked Apricot Yarns. They have a lot of West Yorkshire spinners. They have Rosa Pomar. They have a good selection of like local yarns as well. And they were like very helpful. I mean, I've never been to a yarn store where people weren't helpful. So, but yeah, I love when like they're like, oh, what are you thinking of making? And then you're like, oh, I was thinking about this pattern. And then they like pull it up and they're like, oh, that's so cute. And you're like, I know.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah, so I'm really excited about that. So that'll be a summer cast on. And then this is, so when I had to buy another skein of my West Yorkshire Spinners Pure DK, I was browsing around. I got it from Lovecraft. And I had also been looking for what even is this? I was looking for like a cotton blend. Similar to like, oh gosh, hold on. I'll tell you what it's similar to.
Mayo, you're correct. I have never met up with you in LA. What a great fact.
Okay, Mayflower Amalfi is the suggested yarn for this project, which is 52% cotton, 48% manufactured fibers, rayon from bamboo.
Yeah, that sounds really familiar.
Yeah, so I was looking for that, but I couldn't like find any retailers, I guess. Maybe I didn't look hard enough, but I was sort of looking for a substitute, so I ended up finding Barocco Modern Cotton DK.
Ooh.
And this is 60% Pima cotton, 40% rayon. So similar. And the color is called coffee milk. And so it's like this sort of, it's coming up paler on camera, but it's like sort of this goldeny, like not orange, but like definitely not brown, you know?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Like sort of in between. So it's like darker than my skin tone for sure. I think, I don't know. I'm unsure if this color will suit me, but I kind of wanted to get out of my comfort zone, I guess. And I liked it when I saw it. So, but if it doesn't work out, I will dye the garment black, probably. So I am going to make the rose ruffle top by Mippy the Label.
Okay.
Yeah, which is like a cute, again, like another like tank, but it has a peplum option and a baby doll option. And it's funny because I do feel like I love a baby doll because that was my my Sheltie that I made last summer.
Oh, yeah.
With the like, you know, yeah. But I love it. So I think it's really cute. I've been wanting to make it for a while. And I think that this color also suits like the pattern because it's sort of like faded, kind of like antique-y color.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, but yeah, if it doesn't end up looking good on me, I will dye it black, and that'll be that. So, but yeah, so I got this and my West Yorkshire Spinners, like my single ball of that. And I think maybe this qualified me for free shipping or something.
Ooh,
so like that. It made sense.
It's free.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Okay. We're maybe halfway through.
Okay, I can.
Yeah. Do you want to? Yeah. Okay.
To give you a little breathing break.
Oh, Dwarf.
Before that, hi, Dwarf.
Oh my gosh, hi. Dwarf, Torny, Artsy, and Raiders. Welcome in. How's it going? I'm Oat. I use she, her pronouns. Me and Chris are doing a little yarn podcast. Oh my gosh, Artsy. Thank you for 38 months. How's it going?
Wow.
Nice to see you. I hope stream was good. I hope Power Wash Sim was good. We're doing a little quarterly knitting roundup. We do this quarterly. So we're talking about things we've made, including both of the things that we're wearing and various projects. We're at the part now where we talk about all the yarn that we purchased in the last quarter. So, yeah. Hi, Dudley.
Yes. So I'll just talk about 2. Yeah, I'll talk about 2 right now. I have 3 total. But the first one is just what we were just talking about, the Lumi pullover. I guess I'll talk about it again because I have these 2 extra skeins and they look cute.
They are cute.
But yeah, I don't know. 20% off.
Yeah.
Knitting for Olive was pretty great. I think I got 7 skeins of the main color and 2 skeins of the contrast color. And I only have 1 skein left of the contrast, but all I have left is this sleeve color work, so I think it should be okay. Again, I don't know if it's just like a Starry Nordland thing, but a lot of the Ravelry projects said that they ran out of yarn. Oh. So I did get, I think, 1 extra ball than what size 3 says for main color.
Okay.
But the pattern is in Cascade 220, so by ball I mean like yardage. Mm-hmm. I think it was like almost perfectly for 6 or something. I don't know, but I think I got 1 extra or something like that. But also if I run out of yarn, I'm not too worried about it because Knitting for Olive is pretty readily available, and even if it's different dye lots, I think it'll be okay. So that's going to be one acquisition I talk about. And then I'll talk about my second one, which was a gift. This is a DK weight Stellina.
Wow.
Skein, which my cousin gifted me when he was on Whidbey Island, which was super nice. It's from Enchanted Beetle on Whidbey.
Oh my gosh.
And it's DK weight. I don't know. This thing like fell off. It's DK weight, 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% Stellina, and in the colorway called Bamboo. So
it's so
I'm
cute.
Excited. I think I was thinking maybe like mittens would be cute with this one. or DK weight socks, because it does have that
Mm.
nylon in it.
True.
Were the things
True.
I was thinking of. But I don't know, we'll see. It's also reminding me that I have Stellina from Stellina yarn from Sorella.
Oh.
Both DK weight and fingering weight, and I should do something with it. So those are gonna be the two that I talk about, and then I have one more left, which I can talk about after you go.
Cool. So I mean, I did this chronologically, but I feel like I got this yarn so recently. So I think because after Flock, I had been on a yarn ban, right? And then I was like, well, I actually don't really have very much sock yarn around. So I got all that sock yarn, and then we went on that trip. And then I think kind of the floodgates just sort of opened from there. And I was like, yes, I am going to purchase yarn. So, the next thing I did, I guess, was I made an order from Mother Knitter, and well, I guess this happened because I was going to buy yarn for a Moby sweater for James, and Mother Knitter has Sandnes so I bought 16 balls of Peer Gynt.
Oh, it's such a good color.
Yes, this is blue gray heather. And so while I was on Mother Knitter, I was like, well, if like I'm buying so much Peer Gynt that I should just like figure out if I can get a Sandnes Garn catalog, because you have to buy the yarn to get the catalog, and then you get a bunch of patterns, and it's like nice. So to get a catalog, which I did get, and I'll show you, I picked up 5 balls of tin silk mohair. This is the color Deep Marine. So it's like a very dark blue. It's very soft. I haven't used Sandnes Garn's mohair before, but I do really like how it feels in the ball. And so I was able to get a pattern catalog, which
one is that?
I love this. This is 2302 DIY.
Okay.
So
from last year.
Yeah. So, and it had the pattern on the cover I really like.
It's so pretty.
Because it's like you can wear it how it had on the front, but then you can also wear it like with the ties in the back.
That's so cute.
Yeah. And it's 2 strands of mohair held together. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. I'm pretty sure. It's called the Vienna.
Oh wow. That's so pretty.
Yeah, so I really like it. I really like it in this color as well. But yeah, it's 2 strands of tin silk mohair held together. But there are a lot of other like really cool patterns in this one. There's like this stripy cardigan, the brook. There's, I think this is just a different version of it, but in the brushed alpaca. Which is like a really fluffy yarn that's nice. There is this like long zipper sweater, and then there's this one, which I think is also pretty like known, the Abbey.
I've seen that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's super nice.
So yeah, this one is cute, and then I think I want to say there was one more. I mean, any of these I could make and then make, modify it or whatever. But there's this like long cabled cardigan. So I'm most excited about this pattern, I think, and I have to figure out what yarn I want to use because it is a lot of mohair, but I think that's like so pretty and I'm like really excited. So and then the last thing when I was looking on Mother Knitter and like figuring all of that out is they had Lamana Como on sale. And I had been looking for that yarn for forever because I wanted to make the scope scarf, which is this like really graphic, like sort of color blocked, like sort of not lino print, but like it has a lot of like lines and like angles, and it's double knit in like two contrasting colors, so you get like a really cool effect. So I got 4 balls each of 2 different colors. So this is called Mittelblau, and
Cute.
it's like a navy blue. And then this is called Crocus. It's not gray, it is like a light purple. So I think that they have enough contrast, and I think like it'll be like colorful enough, but also like subtle enough for like an outerwear piece or like an accessory, which I'm happy about. And so I ended up choosing these colors because they were the only colors left with like 4 like 4 skeins available. But I think it worked out because I was like agonizing over what colors to do, because I feel like if you're trying to get 2 colors that are contrasted enough for color work, but then like it's very easy to like get into like, and with the colors available and everything in the Como yarn, like just every color combination I was like coming up with, I was like, that's a Harry Potter like.
Oh.
And I was like, I'm not trying to make like a Harry Potter scarf.
Yeah.
So the original sample is pink and green, which I do think is really cute, but these are more like my colors. So yeah, I'm excited about this. I don't know when I'll cast this on because I have several other neck accessories in the queue, like that are higher priority, including the other Cargill cowl for my friend, so whose birthday is in February. So who knows? Also, I'm a little intimidated about the double knitting color work, because you have to like hold 2 strands at the same time, and there's like understanding color dominance and all of that. So we'll see when this happens. But yes, yeah. So that was my mother knitter order. It feels like a lot of yarn because of the 16 balls of Peer Gynt. It's a lot, but you know. Anyways. That was okay. That. And then I only have 3 more things.
If you want to talk about my other acquisition.
Yeah.
Real quick. So I did order more yarn. Again, like I said earlier this episode, I did order from EKF's Leave No Trace, and it shipped today. So I guess it'll be in the next podcast. But I also ordered from EKF's Farmers Market collection.
Ooh.
Pre-order.
Oh my gosh.
And so a little backstory on the Farmers Market collection. They had sample skeins of most of the colors at Flock. So we were both at Flock, and we were able to see these colors in person, and so pretty. Yeah. They brought DK, Sock, and Surrey as like sample skeins. Maybe one other, maybe Cashmere or something. I don't remember. But I loved so many of the colors, and it was really hard to narrow down because I was like, I don't need yarn. Like I think I wanted like a boucle sweater quantity there, and then I was like, maybe I'll get like the Surrey, because the Surrey on like That's My Jam or whatever, that purple variegated color. I was like, oh, it's so bright, it was so pretty, but I was like, okay, calm down. And then EKF revealed a new base, which I was like, what? Okay. And I bought it. So
yay.
Here it is. So the new base is called Linen Sock, and it's 80% non-superwash merino, 20% linen, 437 yards for 100 grams. So 80% merino, 20% linen, non-superwash. And supposedly they're like the first like dyers to be able to get the base from the suppliers or whatever. Anyway, I love me a plant fiber based like blend yarn.
For sure.
So I was like, okay, I have to try it. And I was a little nervous because so this is in Catch of the Day.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved this color on sock. And I loved it on boucle. And I loved it I think I liked the boucle the most. And then I liked it a lot on the earthy.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, I hope that it looks good on the non-superwash and linen. And she like posted a picture and I was like, okay, I like it enough from this picture to buy it. And so actually when I got the shipping notification for this, which was probably like a week before Black Friday actually, because I think I got this yarn like literally last week. So maybe like a week before Thanksgiving-ish. And I had been spending a lot of money. Not on yarn, just like on other things.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got the shipping notification and I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have bought this. So I was like, oh, like there have been so many packages come in my house. I'm going to have so many future packages. Like, oh gosh, did I really need to order this one? It arrived and I was like, oh my God, I love the color.
Yeah.
So in the picture that EKF posted, maybe it's because it was like paired with all the other tonals from the collection.
Mm-hmm.
It looked a lot like more gray.
Yeah.
Even this color is a blue.
Yeah.
Just on the non-super wash basis, it dyes a little bit more like purpley gray. I think it changes a little bit, but this is showing pretty true to what I see. Maybe it's a little less purple than what it's showing on camera, but it's like really dark. Yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love how this turned out like in person. It's so gorgeous. And it is so soft. Like, if you told me there was linen in this, I wouldn't know, except for the fact that it has like some of those like little linen flecky things in it. Yeah. Like, I don't know how this will be in terms of cooling, because linen is supposedly, like a more cool, like with fiber, but it has the 80% merino, and this merino feels like a very like plush, like nice merino. I don't know. I love it. Wow. Like, I love whenever I receive yarn, but it's not often that I receive it and it like blows my expectations out of the water. Yeah. I don't know, because I look at so many pictures. And I don't know. This one, wow, I love it. I'm so excited to work with it. It's gonna be so nice. Like, this base is so soft, and it's not superwash merino too. So I guess it's just like a low micron count or whatever. I don't know. It's so nice.
Yeah, that looks really nice.
Really happy about this. So thank you, past me, for ordering this.
Go past Chris. That's funny. Do you have any plans for that potential that you're thinking about?
No.
We'll figure it out in the summer.
Yeah. I think
probably a top though.
Yeah, it's gonna be a top. Either I'm gonna have to look through my text to see if I had a plan, because I'm pretty sure I didn't have a plan. Mm-hmm. But it might have been like an oolong tank or something. Like one of the tanks that takes more than one skein of fingering weight, or a t-shirt. But I think maybe an oolong tank. Well, we'll see. Plans can change.
Yeah, for sure. I know I like say all my plans for these and I'm like, we'll see if that happens, but that's what I'm thinking right now. Okay, so last thing I mentioned, I'm going to make my friend a Cargill cowl. So I needed yarn for that. And I was looking for another cashmere, but so I got that yarn like 30% off or something. And I was looking at cashmere is expensive. So I was kind of like, So I ended up finding Knit Picks Capra.
Ooh.
Which is a cashmere blend. It is very soft. It's, I think, 85% merino, 15% cashmere. And so it's pretty soft. Like, I think it would be, I don't know. I do feel like the La Manna Como is softer to the touch, like at least in the ball. But I think it will be soft enough. This is the color Spice. So my friend has like a darker complexion than me and is higher contrast in her features. So I think this will be like a good orange, and it's it's kind of more, I wish it was a little more of a burnt orange, because I feel like that's sort of more neutral, like a rusty color. Mm-hmm. This is a little brighter than I wanted, but I think it'll be nice. I hope she likes it. I kind of took a gamble on the color, I feel like. So I got 3 balls of this, and they're 50-gram balls. And so based on the yarn that I used for mine, are they 50 grams? Am I lying? They're probably 50 grams. I'm pretty sure. Did I buy too much yarn? I might have bought too much yarn. Yeah, so these are 50-gram balls. The Cashmere DK, those are 55-gram skeins. I bought too much yarn. Well, I bought 3 balls because I was thinking I need a skein and a half, right? And I was sort of assuming that the one hank had been 100 grams. But it was 55 grams. So anyways, I guess I will have to, well, maybe I can see if I can return one of them, or I'll just have like a little scarf or something. I don't know. But I was planning on making this one longer. Is that Pebbles?
I hope she doesn't pull my yarn all the way down the stairs.
Pebbles. Oh gosh. I'm almost done. So I am planning on making it a little taller because I do, like, I more want her to be able to, like, pull it over her face when she's, like, going to work in the morning. That's kind of why I was, like, making her, like, a neck accessory, because she's told me her face gets really cold. So I was like, this will be perfect. So, yeah, so I'll make it a little taller. So maybe I didn't overbuy yarn, but we'll find out. So, but yeah, so I got 3 balls of this. And then the last thing, or well, the second to last thing, I had been looking for, like, or once I got this Tin Silk Mohair, I was kind of like, okay, now I get to figure out what I'm going to do with it. And, like, I just love, like, looking at projects and, like, figuring it out, you know. So, the thing that I had in my queue, or not in my queue, but in my favorites that I really wanted to make is the plain yoke blouse solo from Lanit. So it's just like a round yoke blouse, sort of similar to the cloud blouse from Petite Knit, but this is a round yoke. And I had wanted to make the plain yoke tee, which was like a summer pattern from Lanit, but I, like, don't have the yarn for it, and I, like, didn't get around to it in the summer. So then I was like, oh, maybe I can just make the plain yoke blouse, and then that'll be, like, cool. So I was looking for alternatives, and I was looking at the yarn, because, like, the yarn listing on the plain yoke blouse is kind of weird, but it gives you, like, 3 different, like, yarn combinations. But, like, there's nothing in the suggested yarn section at the top, but just further down. So one of the things it says is you can use Tin Silk Mohair with alpaca fulgitra, I think, or fulitra, something like that. It's like FO with /LGETRA with the circle on top, D. So and it's the lace weight alpaca, 100% alpaca from Sandisgarn.
Oh, I didn't even know they had one.
Yeah, apparently they do. And that was one of the yarn combinations in one of the samples for the plain yoke blouse. So I was looking for a lace weight alpaca, and I came across Knit Picks Alpaca Cloud.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so this is 100% baby alpaca. The meterage is very similar to the Sandisgarn one, and this color is Darcy, and it is listed as like a dark sapphire blue, but I'm like, Knit Picks, this is navy blue, like, please. So I will hold these together.
Yeah, no, they look good together.
Yeah, for the plain yoke blouse. And I'm, like, kind of actually anxious to cast that on. But I'm supposed to start my book club cardigan.
I know, literally same. I'm like, I'm, like, so excited for all these projects, and I'm like, wait, but the book club cardigan.
I know. Yeah. So, which like I really would like to finish up both my Agnete and my stripe hype before I start the book club cardigan or any other garment. Like I'm like I have to finish those. So, but I really hope I can cast this on soon because I think it would be so pretty and like fun to work up, and both these yarns are so soft and I'm excited. So, so yeah, so that is my final yarn acquisition. I did also acquire, actually when I was like planning to start my book club cardigan, I acquired.
I'm streaming. No, I know. So basically, when Pebbles jumped off the bed because my roommate got home, she knocked over a ball of yarn off my bed, and it's rolled down the stairs, and is in the living room apparently.
Oh my god! Pebbles,
amazing.
That's so funny. Well, yeah, this is my last thing. I got this yarn holder from Etsy. You got that. Yeah. So I was looking for one because, yeah, we were talking about starting the book club cardigan, and I wanted to have, like, I have my mini minder, but I didn't know what I was going to do about, like, having 2 balls going at the same time because I'm holding 2 strands for the book club cardigan. So, and I was looking online, and a lot of the, like, wooden yarn holders are, like twice the price of whatever this ended up being. I think they're like $100 for like a solid wood one. So I found this on Etsy. It's like a 3D printing place, and they do these like double yarn holders. These like spin. I did start and then frog my book club cardigan, and I used this when I was working on it, and it was really nice. So I'm glad I got this. The thing that I don't know now is that I have to alternate skeins, and so I'm like, will I just sort of stack them on here? So we'll have to figure that out, but I'm happy with this. And yeah, it was like, I think $50, or if the wooden ones are $50, then this was like $25 or something like that. You know what I mean?
Like half-ish the price.
Yeah, so I think it was like good to get this from Etsy. But the wooden ones do look really nice. Pure Toe! Thanks for 36 months. Oh my god, I thought I missed it. We're definitely not at the end.
Yeah, definitely.
We would never be ending.
Definitely do not just talk about ending the last acquisition of the year.
Well, there's really yarn in the mail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah. You can just throw it on the ground.
Oh my god.
Was that you, Pebbles?
That's so funny.
Follow the trail.
Oh, I love Pebbles. But yeah, I have 2 yarn orders like that I have ordered, and then I have my theoretical Knitting for Olive order that I've been stressing about for like 5 years, because I was like, do I want to add that much yarn to my stash? And then I added this much yarn to my stash while I was thinking about that. So
wait, what week? It's weekly sales, right?
Yes, yeah. So yeah, I'm glad I waited because Knitting for Olive is doing a weekly Advent sale. And it like never goes on sale, so it's been 15% off. So the first week was the soft silk mohair, the second week was soft silk mohair and no waste wool, which is their like eco recycled,
like 50% recycled,
yeah,
wool, 50% normal wool, yeah.
So I'm really hoping that they do heavy merino one of the weeks, and if the other things are still on sale, that would be awesome. But yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I just have to, like, wait and see. And then, but hopefully if they don't do that, then I could just pick up some, like, because it seems like it's cumulative, I guess. So it seems like probably the third week there will be, like, a new thing, no waste wool, and soft silk mohair. So if I end up just, like, I don't know. Because I was going to get some yarn for a Cumulus blouse, but then I ended up getting some silk mohair from an indie dyer for a Cumulus blouse. That's yarn in the mail, so it doesn't count.
Do I know
for
about
this quarter?
One?
I don't think you know about this. I'll tell you next year.
Okay.
No, I mean, I could tell you. I've been obsessed with Woolly Mammoth Fiber Co. for forever. Yeah, okay. I love her vibe. I love that she grows all of the dyeing plants in her garden, dyes all the yarn. She gets like local Irish yarn from like different breeds that are really cool. And so she recently introduced a silk mohair into her shop. And also then dyed it in these like gorgeous shades of deep blue. So I got 4 skeins of the silk mohair in the color Midnight Oil, which is like cute. A really like deep, like it's low key. It's the color of my Agnete cardigan, but in fine. Silk mohair. But it's so beautiful. I'm really excited. So yeah, so that was that. And then I also asked for a Woolly Mammoth Fiber Co. gift card for Christmas, so more yarn to come. But yeah, I've like really been obsessed with like all of her stuff. So, big fan. So I'm like, cause it sold out. I wasn't going to get any, and then it sold out. And then I like recently have been back on Instagram, and like the other morning I was like scrolling, and then I saw her post 2 minutes ago. The shop had been updated with more silk mohair, and I was like, so I was like, I have to get it.
You gotta grab it.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anyways, Q4.
A full year.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Crazy.
So yeah, we were thinking about doing our like everything we knit in 2024 sometime at the beginning of next year. I'm really hoping I'll have a few more garments finished before the end of the year.
At least one sweater
I'm so
completed.
Close. Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Like Agnete. If I can finish my Agnete cardigan. Mikar backlog. So true. Yeah, hopefully. But we'll see what happens. And then I would love to be able to cast on my book club cardigan before the end of the year. But at this point, I'm like, it might have to wait until my gift knitting is done. Because I do really want to be able to like focus on that. And like, well, and in the future not have 6 whips at the same time. I don't think it's good for me. So yeah, I want to like get things done and then start new things. So, and then next year I won't buy any yarn at all, and so it'll be okay that I bought so much yarn this year. Right?
Yeah, I don't know. So I guess I can. I have a lot of like housekeeping things to do in terms of knitting. Like I haven't updated my Ravelry in like this entire year, and then I normally track my yarn in an Airtable spreadsheet, and I haven't updated it since the summer. So like my flock yarn and everything like isn't in the spreadsheet yet.
Yeah.
But in that spreadsheet, I do kind of keep track of yarn that I've like used and yarn that I've acquired this year. So my goal for this year, which I am like 90% sure I did not succeed at, was to knit more yarn than I bought.
Like a net negative thing.
Yeah, but that's okay. I do think like at least this trend, well, I don't know. It's also because I think a lot of dyers weren't releasing collections in the last quarter,
which is why I didn't
why I didn't like buy so much and acquire so much. So I guess we'll see, because like January, February, like they're always releasing their new collection, and it's like always so good, and I'm like, so I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah,
but
we'll see.
Yeah.
I wish I could knit faster.
Yeah, because I've got like older yarn in my stash that really am like, I want to knit with this, but then I'm like, ooh, but Lumi pullover and brand new yarn, like, yes. So it's like,
I know, yeah. I've like been trying to sort of think about like how to get re-excited about yarn that's like in my stash, and like part of it I think is like, yeah, project planning. Like I do find that really exciting, and like I love to look at patterns and like calculate, how much do I have, how much would I need, like do I need to change my gauge, what did other people use? Like I love looking at all of that and like thinking about the possibilities. But then it's like, what sort of, once the planning is done, then it becomes like, now I've sort of committed to this mentally, and then it becomes stressful for some reason, like that I have this commitment that I'm not meeting. And so I've been like, yeah, trying to sort of rethink my like that like switch from like exciting plan to stressful plan. Like, and figure out how I can keep it as like exciting. And, because yeah, it's my knitting hobby that I like and I do for fun. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll see the stats next year.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm going to try to update my spreadsheet so I can get that info just for me personally.
Yeah.
But
that's a good idea. I'll try to have like, yeah, like weight used or yards used or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or do you do like units, like 50-gram sort of increments or something?
Yeah, I have it as like, this is one, but this is also one.
Okay.
But this is 50 grams and this is 100 grams. So it's not like the most accurate. I don't put yardage in my spreadsheet.
Okay.
But yeah. It doesn't have to be completely accurate.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, we will see you next year for more knitting. It's exciting.
Wild.
It is wild, yeah.
Yeah, a full year. I legit, like, I think somewhere it was like, oh, 2025. And I'm like, oh, that's so far away. Like, this in the last 2 weeks. And then I'm like, wait.
Yeah.
That's next
No,
week.
it's like about to be 2025.
Scary.
Yeah, it is scary.
Well, let us see who is live.
I think if Matcha's still live, she was doing a charity stream tonight.
Oh, yes, her charity. Yeah, I think she's still live doing Belatro.
Nice.
Let's go over there.
Yay.
I believe Matcha is raising money for Trans Lifeline, and has giveaways and stuff like that for people who donate. Or like not for everybody, but you get entered in. I assume. I don't, yeah. So let's head on over there. I'm gonna do /raid.
I did it. We both have Discords. You're welcome to join. Oh, we could do a big, what is it? Big cat. Oh, sorry. For it's like the round spinning emote for the raid message. Okay. Sorry, that's what I was thinking about.
I don't have the emote because I don't have 7TV. But
I think I just don't have that in my chat. But it's BTTV in Matcha's
in
chat.
hers. Yeah. I think I know what emote it is.
Big frog, or
we can do big cat.